Welcome to Heroes CCL, presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justing. And, we're here in the premier Heroes of the Storm League, where you can learn all about fish facts and aviary facts as well. So, Justing, I'm going to throw it to you first. What is the fish fact that you brought to the stream today?
If you ever get in a fight with coral, you're supposed to touch it.
All right. Well, unfortunately, the robots ate Justing really quickly. Something about coral and not touching it, I assume. Grubby, how you doing, my friend? I saw you literally taking an axe and cleaving people in half before we got in the stream today. What's going on with that?
Yes. I just had a very interesting Storm League game, actually. One keep versus 6 on Sky Temple. Basically, you don't come back from that. One keep against 6 on Sky Temple, but we did, and I was so happy that I wanted to celebrate with friends, but there weren't enough friends, so I cut them in half, so I had twice as many. So then the celebration party was complete, and we had a... Yeah,
it's kind of like a Hydra with friends. Like if you chop them into more pieces, more friends. That's weird.
Exactly.
That's weird, and I should probably move off of that and talk about something else because, anyways, we're here in week. Well, actually, we're not in a week. We're in our ladder bracket. We have 2 more best of 5 todays for all of you at home, as we are going to be determining who is going to make it to the double elimination bracket in the month of August. So it's a little bit of time. There will be some downtime for the teams to prepare for all of that. But let's go ahead and take a look at pricing, or at least let's talk about pricing, because we have had some changes with the prize pool. Now, with the LAN being canceled, Wisdom is going to be putting $10,000 at the end of the season into the prize pool. Not only that, but there is no longer a split between the teams and Wisdom. It is now 100% of the prize pool going to the team. So first place will take 35% of the prize pool. So let's round up, and at the end of the season, we could technically have $24,000 that could go to the first place team, which will take 35% of that $24,000, just, doing some quick caster math. So if you would like to donate towards the prize pool, and you'd like to push this further up to, support the teams, because it 100% goes to the teams, you can use !prize pool in chat. We are $78 away from hitting $14,000, and I know we can push through, and I know we can make it there. And of course, this is for the teams, so if you really want to support the teams, I know we're all sad about the LAN, but we can still support some amazing Heroes of Storm players and some amazing Heroes CCL teams. So !prize pool in chat will get you over there. But of course, I've talked about prize pool and all of that, and everyone kind of understands where all that sits, but I think now's a good time to kind of talk about our league standings, Grubby, and see where everything sits with, our league standings, getting ready for our bracket here.
Yeah, before the ladder bracket started, which started yesterday, this is what got them there. So basically, in this league, rank 4 to rank 8 play each other, starting at the bottom and then going all the way to the top. The top 3 teams, 30K, Oxygen Esports, and Wildheart Esports, through their match record that you see here, and their map score that is not listed here, they managed to earn themselves top 3 best performing in the round robin. Every other team is playing each other for direct elimination. Granite Gaming has already fallen by the wayside, as you will soon see, against Simplicity, who was defeated by Storm Esports. So far, Granite Gaming's league score was upset. They were 7th, but they finished 8th. Storm Esports is still in the running to not only be their league score, top 6, which they are now, but to perhaps do even better as they go up against Chili Mountain, which you will see on the next slide.
Yeah,
Justin,
we're actually going to go ahead and take it away, Justin. Let's see. Hopefully things are nice and level, but let's take a look at that bracket.
All right, so we had Simplicity with the 3-0 against Granite Gaming yesterday, and then Storm Esports came around and 3-0 Simplicity, proving that they are in fact the
Sorry, it's a little too dubsteppy. Sorry about that, but yes, as Justin was saying, 7th and 8th went up against each other yesterday. Granite versus Simplicity, and that was a 3-0 for Simplicity. And then we saw Storm Esports up against Simplicity. Storm took a 3-0 right there. So now Storm Esports will go up against Chili Mountain, the higher seeded team, and the winner of our Chili Mountain Storm Esports matchup will be going up against Diamond Hands, and whomever wins that matchup will be going into the double elimination bracket. Grubby, this is exciting stuff here on HeroesCCL.
Yeah, very exciting. And, where yesterday the scores were pretty uneven, a lot of 3-0s, and the games went rather rapidly, a lot of those drafts were quite different. I'm expecting meta to resume more recognizable forms in these teams coming up in Storm Esports against Chili Mountain. Now, Lauber is still in Paris, I do believe, so most likely Brandon / Unaverted will be playing tank for Storm Esports, and that looks pretty darn good. But they've got a big challenge in Chili Mountain. Later, we'll introduce which players are playing for the teams. We'll see that soon on one of the next PowerPoint slides. But these teams, rank 6 and 5 respectively, they should have a really good match with each other. And I'd be shocked if it went to another 3-0 Bahamut.
I would be shocked if we saw any 3-0s today. Yesterday, I was kind of like, okay, I could see this, but today I expect these games to go the distance. And for anyone wondering, we are going to try and get Justin back. So there are just some issues that are out of our control, so we're going to have our tech crew work with him in the background, try and get everything leveled out, and when we do have him nice and level and sounding crisp and clear for all of you at home, we'll get him back on the stream. But thank you all so much for your patience, and we do apologize for the small technical difficulties. But let's go ahead and start talking about our amazing friends over at Next Level Gaming, because, well, we really couldn't have done a lot of HeroesCCL Season 4 without Next Level Gaming, because what is it? Well, they're a Miami-based esports center where you can play Heroes of the Storm among 400 other pre-installed games that are updated daily. Next Level Gaming is a Blizzard cafe, which gives you extra benefits for playing these Blizzard games that you don't quite get at home. Next Level Gaming has HP Omen PCs with Intel i7 processors and RTX 3090 graphics cards. With such an amazing PC, you gotta have some monitor options. A 24-inch monitor at 240Hz and a 32-inch monitor at 144Hz. Be sure to use !NXT in chat to find out all you can about this amazing esports center. And we thank Next Level Gaming for joining us for HeroesCCL Season 4. It's just much appreciated, and, well, we look forward to playing games together in the future. Now, let's go ahead and also talk about HeroesCCL Fantasy, because it is back. We partnered with Ball Street to bring you CCLmarkets.com. It's a free pick'em game that lets you choose HeroesCCL winners in real time as you watch the action. Simply buy shares of the team you think is going to win the matchup and sell the shares of the team you think is going to lose. The best part, Grubby, you can change your mind at any time because the market is always open. Buy and sell all match long to get a better score. Every night, the top traders on CCL Markets will win prizes, and you can compete all season long. Join CCLmarkets.com and win prizes as you watch today's broadcast. Thank you, Ball Street, for partnering with HeroesCCL Season 4. Now, Grubby, let's get into the meat and potatoes of our first matchup of the day, the rosters. Let's take a look at Chili Mountain's roster.
Chili Mountain, our challenger that haven't played yesterday yet. As they are ranked 5th, they are the next in line of challenges for Storm Esports, and they will be fielded by Banana Age, Dayquaza, Make, Masquerade, Ultralisk, and Skog. Masquerade loves playing Tyrael. He draws some counterbans against his Tyrael. Dayquaza, excellent on heroes like Hager, Dayquaza, the Haka, not Dayquaza, and Blaze in particular. I think Blaze might be his best. And they've got Make. He's a great shot caller, very vocal in the comms. Maybe we'll hear some of those today.
Looking over at the side of Storm Esports, our underdog, I guess you could say, we got CPX, June, Lauber, Maka, Brandon, Nasmus. As Grubby had mentioned, Lauber is, I believe, still traveling, so we will see Brandon on the main tank role, who did amazing yesterday. Fantastic Diablo play. Really excited to see him come through with that. CPX had 3 really, really good Chromie games yesterday. June was actually healing way out of his mind, and Maka just showcasing a hero pool, a depth of just so many different ranged assassins. And of course Nasmus, who is just, well, controlling the solo lane and doing a fantastic job in his role. Excited to see the clash of these two teams coming up in just a little bit as we are getting ready for our lobby, all that good stuff, and we get ready for map number 1 in this series. It's going to be an exciting one. So for anyone that doesn't know like what the setup is here, it's best of 5, of course, and if Chili Mountain wins this, they go up against the second matchup of the day, as we mentioned, which will be Diamond Hands. But Storm Esports, they want to upset, and with Brandon on the main tank role, Grubby, I feel like it's possible. I really do feel like Storm Esports really can make Chili Mountain, or give Chili Mountain a run for their money.
Yeah, I think so too. And they're warmed up yesterday as well, of course. They had a really good run. I think it's going to be close. Nonetheless, Chili Mountain should be seen as a little bit of a favorite, despite everything. You know,
I agree.
Our faith in them notwithstanding, we have to face the truth here. Chili Mountain went 4-3 in match score. Storm Esports 2-5. That's 2 matches difference of wins. and the total maps won by Chili Mountain is 13, and they lost 11. So they have a slightly over 50% win rate. For Storm Esports, it's 11 against 18. That is a win rate of just 39% against 54%. That's a pretty big difference. As such, the predicted, like if a bot did the prediction here, the prediction would be a 3-1 victory for Chili Mountain or 3-2.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and be the counter bot, I guess you could say, and I'm going to say it's a 3-1 victory for Storm Esports. I want to see the upset personally.
Bad
I like
bots.
yeah, I guess I get bad AI. I maybe need to go back to my C++. But let's go ahead and go over to our map screen and take a look at where we're going to for map number 1 in the first best of 5 of the day. It is going to be Chili Mountain taking us to Alterac Pass, but if you're wondering how we got here, Storm Esports, I believe, winning the coin flip, opting for first pick priority, will ban out Towers of Doom. Chili Mountain banning out Dragonshire. And real quick, some map stats, because I do have them updated and ready to go, even from yesterday's games. Alterac Pass for Chili Mountain, they sit 2-0 on this map, and the members of Storm Esports, they sit 2-3. So a lot of good data for Chili Mountain to pull here. Granted, though, Grubby, a lot of that data was with Lauber and not Brandon as the main tank, which I feel is kind of the X factor in this matchup.
Yeah, that's true. And Brandon has done nothing but winning with this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lauber...
Wait, I think, actually, is he 6-0? Because didn't they 3-0'd yesterday, and then didn't they 3-0 before as well? I'm trying to skim my notes. Oh,
I'm checking.
Oh, no, that was Wildheart. They played 5 games
3-2
against Wildheart. Yeah. But still, it's still a great record for Brandon as he's coming in at the end of the season.
Brandon as a tank, 6-2, 2-0 in match score. Lauber, 1-5. But nonetheless, I think Lauber is still a part of this. I still think he's there cheering on his team, and he was a large part of practicing with the team and setting down the league standings that they have, and he may come back during the playoffs as well. Who is to know? They may even run both of them, Brandon and Lauber, who knows, depending on what the draft requires or how availability stretches. The point is they're doing it together as a 6-man team, but definitely Brandon has had a great score here. And you look at the other side, Banana H, Masquerade, Skog, Make, Dequaza, that's a scary team.
Oh, true.
It's very rare that you and I are watching them and we're casting them and we're like, what is Dequaza doing? That doesn't really happen. Like, Dequaza is solid as a rock, man.
Yeah, it's not like there's no. I mean, to be blunt, there's no questionable hortipults in or moments like that, or essentially gapping your own team and just trying to get vision when it's not necessary. Just a little update for anyone wondering: we are just getting stuff going in our lobby. Looks like there was a bit of a. There was a conversation about like swapping in a player and swapping out a player before this first lobby, but it looks like we're not going to be swapping players, and I think we're going to be getting going into our matchup here in just a second. So thank you all for your patience at the top of show today. And if you are wondering, if you did miss it, where Justing is, he unfortunately is having a couple connectivity issues, so we're getting our tech crew in the background to work on that with him. Hopefully we can get him nice, solid, and smooth, and we can get him back in to get everyone's favorite analysis to break things down. But let's go ahead, Grubby, and break down Alterac Pass, because it looks like we have got a draft cooked up and ready to go here between Vandar Stormpike and Nevermind. I saw the countdown and I got all excited, but I think we have a lobby bug, so we're gonna have to remake our lobby, unfortunately.
Okay,
that was so close.
That does not go off the player timers. That's a a Blizzard mistake. That goes off Blizzard's timer. So they got 10 minutes as well, and otherwise we're gonna riot. But the situation now actually is that Ultralisk is not in the first map because he hasn't made it back from Paris yet, but he's reaching. He's reaching right now. He's like on the phone, reaching, on my way. Actually still at home. No, he's actually reaching. So they'll play probably one map without Ultralisk, unless Blizzard bug extends to such a degree that he could make it here on time.
Well, we'll have to see, because the lobby is just about to be fully filled. We're waiting on 2 players, and we'll be getting into Alterac Pass in just a second here. So, a large map, a very, very strong map in the objective as well. So we should be seeing, as we're about to get into the draft, I'm seeing some readies being thrown out as well. We should be seeing a high priority onto the team fighting around the objective phase, but also grubby poke heroes like Tyrande, Junkrat, Hanzo, Lunara as well. There's a ton of these heroes, a myriad, if you will, who can just poke and delay things out. I mean, look at CPX on Chromie yesterday. That's an option too.
Yeah, definitely. And he'll probably be looking at that again. Now, let's talk a little bit about preparation. There's always being strong by yourself, and then there's directly trying to counter what your opponent is doing. So being strong by yourself is just like, I pick my best hero, we pick our best draft. And then countering is like, I don't like this hero as much, but if I pick it, I'm taking it away from you because I saw what you guys like. So there's different psychologies, different player types, different player mentalities. And what was happening yesterday is that there was a very clear drafting game plan for Storm. And if Chili Mountain was looking at that, either their coach or their friends or they themselves, and they saw that, they're going to remember what we learned. They're either going to see it and say, we're not afraid of that Grommy from CPA.
Yeah.
Or they're going to say, we may not be afraid, but we do respect it. And we also think that there's going to be a bit of a drop-off in your effectiveness when you're not on it. So this is a decision that they need to make. So we're either going to see right from the get-go a counter Chromie draft that pre-counters it essentially, or it could be a ban, or it could be a counter pick. Or maybe they're just not afraid, they're going to do their own thing and they'll adapt as it happens. There's lots of different options. That's what makes draft exciting, and we will see exactly what the teams are thinking from both sides as this begins. And it does begin, Baha.
It's going to begin with a target ban onto a Nubarak, as that is a really, really great hero for Alterac Pass specifically, as we've talked in the past about his prowess being able to solo the objective phase with the Beetles. Lucio to be banned away as well. Strong healer overall, as we have been seeing some good value from him from time to time. But now here I feel like, Grubby, this is where we get into those special bans, and it's going to be a target onto Masquerade's Joanna. I mean, Masquerade plays a lot of Joanna, and he plays really, really well. I do believe we can get our analyst back in here, and Justin, hopefully you can break some things down for Alterac Pass.
Yep, I'm happy to be back. Hopefully my internet stays stable, but we've got Lucio Brightwing banned away on the side of Chili Mountain, which leaves Rhaegar as sort of the obvious choice, but there are still priority picks, like the Diablo, here we have the Blaze picked up, Augur potentially to be traded, but the Haka still available, so expectation. Okay, so there's the Hogger. Chili Mountain instant with their picks. They've had some time to prepare for this, and that's showing because, yeah, they're drafting rapid fire. So they definitely already have a draft strategy prepared because that was pretty much instant.
Very, very quick snag onto those two heroes, and Hogger is great. Sylvanas amplifies the push power, but Grubby, what are you thinking here as we'll get two more picks from Storm Esports?
So far, it's going along the same lines as yesterday.
Oh, it is
Every
actually,
single
yeah.
hero by Storm is what they were drafting yesterday. We saw 2 Rhaegars yesterday in the 3 maps from Storm.
Yeah.
We saw 2 Blazes and 3 Chromies. So it's bang, bang, bang. It's everything smack on point. So no surprises for Chili Mountain, but great comfort coming out of Storm.
Now, Justin, is this a Diablo ban, or is this maybe like a Falstad target? What are you thinking?
So it is the Diablo. It's a little strange. Chili Mountain so far definitely getting the short end of the stick in the draft. You had Blaze traded for Hogger, and Blaze was the one that was prioritized. So taking the one that wasn't prioritized in that 1-2, and then also needing to ban the Diablo when you're the next pick is a little bit strange. I think that is mostly because of the Chromie. They will probably get something like the Anduin if the priority for supports remains standard, but so far Storm has gotten the only priority support remaining out of these 3, with the 2 banned away by Chili Mountain. They're going to likely be okay with whatever tank they end up getting because they have set up already between the Chromie and the Blaze for CC. They don't really need that. And Chili Mountain against Chromie, you can't really play dive, so they're going to be relatively rigid in their strategy. And they go for dive anyways, which feels extremely risky into the amount of protection that is already available for Storm between the bunker and the Chromie with all of her stuff that she can do to peel for herself and her team.
I wonder if there's a consideration for a Garrosh potentially with all this dive. You could maybe look for the Warlord's Challenge to lock, like a Genji goes in, you Warlord's Challenge him, and then you can maybe like get a Jet Propulsion follow-up as well. I love this draft here from the side of Storm Esports. Grubby, I am going to jump over you because I do want to get Justin's thoughts because we're kind of getting to the end of the draft here.
So it's pretty much the same type of setup from Storm as yesterday, with the exception of having the Garrosh now in place of the Diablo. Brandon, I'm going to be totally fine with that, especially with Chromie in particular. That's just a common combo where you have the Garrosh toss that's very, very easy setup for the Chromie. The Anduin does get picked in the last pick. I'm thinking that the Tyrael ban from Storm may be the only real mistake in the draft from their perspective. They had the support choke, and I don't know what support comes after the Anduin. As we've seen yesterday, it's pretty much these 4 heroes, and then what else after that? You have to pick something strange after that you're not really used to seeing. Something that can't really save people like a Stukov, but Chili Mountain forcing the dive composition into a Blaze Bunker, a Chromie, a Falstad, just a super defensive composition. They have Gust for disengage, they have the Bunker for disengage. You have Chromie with time clocks that can put her entire team in stasis if she needs. You have the ally toss from Garrosh, just so many layers of protection on the Storm comp. And we are on the map where Chromie is going to be able to stall the objective fairly indefinitely, allowing Falstad to just split push. It's going to be a very, very difficult time for Chili Mountain to win this game. They can't play front to back. It's very difficult to kill a Garrosh on the front line with basically no % damage until level 16 on Hogger. And, I mean, they have level 1 Sylvanas, but it's probably not enough against the Garrosh. It's a dive composition into a composition that says, please try to dive me. So, Storm's composition, more of the same from yesterday. I'm expecting Storm to be able to take this on the map that they seem to do really well on with their favorite comp.
Alrighty, well, Justin, thank you for the breakdown analysis as always, because we're here, ready to go, and on the side of Vandar Stormpike, we've got Chili Mountain, Masquerade on the Muradin, Dequaza to play the Hogger, Skoog will be on the Sylvanas, Banana playing the Anduin, and last but not least, we are going to be seeing Make on the Genji. Over on the side of Storm Esports, backed by Drekthar, we have got Brandon on the Garrosh, CPX will be playing that Chromie, June on the Rhaegar. We'll have Maka on the Falstad and Nasmus on the Blaze. As we're getting into mid lane, I'm liking the idea of Storm Esports to take this map number 1. I like, as Justin was saying, like, there's so much, like, please dive us of Storm Esports, and as long as they can execute in those moments, I think they'll come out on top. What are you thinking here, Grubby?
Yeah, I think there's good push from Hogger and Sylvanas, and the rest are so-so. And then on the other side, you have good push from Chromie, Falstad, Rhaegar, and Blaze. So you've got 4 macro heroes against 2. And then the macro team also happens to have better defense, where Chromie, Blaze, Garrosh, and Mighty Gust to a degree, like 3.5 good defenders. And then on the other side, there's not really any typical defensive heroes on Chili Mountain's side. So I feel like Storm Esports has to play this game, quote-unquote, boring. And if they do, and they don't do anything exciting, then they just win this game with macro. That's how it feels like. But let's not forget that Chili Mountain could see all those games, saw the style, knew the draft. Unless they're like, in the winner's interview, they're like, nah, we didn't watch the games, we actually didn't check the draft. Would be surprising, but let's say that they did do their homework, then somehow they must feel that this draft that they have is okay.
Yeah. Nasmus is going to get chunked right here, tries to live on the fire, and I think he's just trying to buy some time, will go down. I want to point out something, and I'm sure Caterpillar is already sending a DM over to Brandon here. Body check level 1. That was actually on the list of Cattle red cards for for the playoffs, but I like the body check still. I think getting a 35% slow on an enemy and then also a 30% healing reduction for 3 seconds, that's great, because Desperate Prayer, actually I was watching your stream earlier, like you got to level 7, you're like, yeah, you just take Desperate Prayer, that's the option at this level. And in those moments of big team fights, someone starts getting bursted, you body check them, that Desperate Prayer, I mean, it's gonna be chunked in the healing as well. I like this adaptation, I'm a big fan of body check, we'll see how Brandon utilizes it.
And it also has like 2.5 range, like 3 range or
it's
so.
got a weirdly big range.
Right? Yeah. Because it looks like a fist, the amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think it has to be like melee, you punch him.
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually slightly longer range than Arthas' Frostmourne, and that's a big sword if anyone has ever seen it. So it actually gives Garrosh a gap closer that's exactly in between his Warbreaker engage and his Wrecking Ball engage. So it's pretty funny. It's between his two, let's say, between the stun and the throw. So if someone is trying to be in that range to dodge Q, but also dodge Wrecking Ball, that's where you can catch them with the slow. Even not counting the healing debuff thing. Maka doing some good damage. He already had 1 kill. First blood had already gone towards his team. Now Maka knew that he's going to have teammates. And it was a one-on-one, and he knew that one-on-one was going to ungloriously become a 3v1. But Maka against Mokka.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did not know that he... Well, he knew that he was not going to get teammates, and he did take that one-on-one. I think he did barrel roll forwards, thinking he can win the one-on-one. This is really good macro push by Chili Mountain. While I did mention that there's only 2 macro pushers on Chili Mountain, Sylvanas turns anyone into a macro pusher because of the black arrow. So there's definitely a way for them to solve this game, as long as they can keep getting kills as they have against Falstad, against Blaze. They've done a good job, honestly. I think they're kind of breaking the expectation of what we expected to see here.
And I like that quite a bit. Also, speaking of just Skoog's push potential on the Sylvanas, we will be seeing the possession as well for level 4 to be able to steal some minions away and amplify that push potential. So we have a player DCing, so we'll find out what's going on with that in the background. Until then, we can kind of take stock of what 7s look like. Objective phase has been up for about 49 seconds, but the true objective phase, Grubby, is, well, the mid lane push. So we are waiting for... Actually, we have the readies out immediately, so this is great. We can get back into the action in just a second. But any thoughts on the talents or what we could potentially see coming up with the objective?
We're seeing Sledgehammer, so Murden is going to push a little better. Probably a good decision. This also allows him to kill the grunts, defending the prisons better. A little bit of extra tower damage as well.
Yeah.
So Sledgehammer not going with that reverb into auto attacks. It kind of makes sense. There's no relevant melee auto attackers that attack fast. Rhaegar does a good hit, but he's better countered by blind than AA slows. So I like this Masquerade talent on the Stormbolt there. I think that's the most special one that we can see here.
Haunting Wave from Skoog is allowing the Sylvanas to back away from any threat of the Garrosh. We have Masquerade doing Masquerade does regardless of what hero he's on, sneaking the objective while his allies do something somewhere else on the map. Anduin getting 1 stack on his level 4 Piercing Light, so Banana does have that 1%. So hopefully he can get a couple more % on that one and get a little extra value on the Piercing Light. Blaze is putting some pressure onto Hogger in top, but I think Hogger is fine. And here comes another rotation. It feels like Storm is overextending in a lot of these lanes a little bit and just not communicating the rotation. I don't think Nasmus dies here, but it just feels like he's way too far forward there and taking way too much damage for really no reason. He's gonna have to hearth back or something.
Yeah, it feels risky sometimes. Let's say that Nas has made a dying play twice so far, and it's probably not just on him. I think you're right. It's, rotations is a whole plan across the whole team, fully reliant on speed of wave clear, your own proactiveness on the map, shot calls and info callouts and whatnot, the speed with which you wave clear and so on. So yeah. It's Chili Mountain just showing a little bit more strength here, so far at least so far.
I would agree, yeah. So far it's looking good for Chili Mountain, but both teams are going to be approaching 10 talent here nearly at the same time. I'm just taking a peek around the map right now. Garrosh is rotating down to bottom lane as Genji, Murden are putting pressure onto Maka. Make on the Genji is continuing just to clear things out. Yeah. Does get his... I'm trying to emphasize the difference.
It's very exaggeratedly. Make. Mokka.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. They can almost be pronounced the same way if you just kind of...
Yeah, if you kind of lackadaisically say it. So a bit of a tank fight between Masquerade and Brandon. Doesn't yield much. No Warlord's Challenge to be used. Slowing Sands is out and available for CPX as well. Shockwave. There's the rotation. Skoog has got some great damage. Nice Shockwave into the wall. Staggering blow into the wall. Sylvanas and Dequaza should be able to get the camp in bottom. That's a good toss Warlord's Challenge, the Anduin, to save the moment.
Yeah, that could have been a kill, even on someone like Muradin. Just because it's a full CC combo into a slowing stance, which... I mean, there were many procs for it, but a proper greeting, 20% bonus chromie damage. You hit the double Dragon Breath Sandblast, and that could definitely be a kill. The first time Storm may look like they're gonna get a kill back.
One auto.
That was so interesting. He can't catch up because Tailwind gets shut down by damage dealt to Falstad. And because of the Wailing Arrow, he couldn't actually detonate his explosion, the boomerang. Really nice defense there by Skog to get away. That would have been the first blood for Storm.
And it's a lot of Chili Mountain just kind of whittling away slowly but surely at the level or the outer defenses or our fort defenses for the side of Storm Esports. I like how Chili Mountain's approach this. They don't need to play the dive comp like we were expecting. It's kind of just waiting patiently and then utilizing the dive in those critical moments. So it's been very smart from Chili Mountain how they've executed on this, and we'll see if they're able to continue that as the game progresses.
There's the body check from Brandon on Muradin to slow him down a bit, but he gets away just fine. The cooldown on that is just 15 seconds. Oh, not bad.
Top
It
lane?
does a decent chunk of damage by itself, 178. Oh, fast start.
Ooh, the Gust does not push away the Hogger who's spinning. There's the Shockwave to follow up, and Maka is dead.
Maka dead. Yeah, he gusted still into the Hog Wild, but I'm not actually sure why he returned to the fort. I thought if he just walks home, he's fine, but I might be wrong.
I feel like...
Oh, did you see the Genji light bulb? He
yeah,
dashed into the wall.
That unfortunately didn't line up. Masquerade is taking the fight right now. Nasmus is getting some decent damage into Masquerade, who has the Avatar right now, actually, coming off a cooldown. The thought that I had when I was watching how Falstad was dying in top lane was maybe he was banking on Sylvanas' Black Arrow to expire. That's my best guess, is that the Black Arrow was active and he was thinking that it'd be done soon, so he'd have the defense of the tower to force back the enemy. But even then, you were so low. I think it was dead to rates either way, and that might be Blaze dead in bottom.
Yeah, Blaze actually bunkered mid of his own jet propulsion, which is interesting. But either way, he's fine. He's safe. The bunker body blocking CPX and June for a bit there. This is a 4-man attack against defense. Then we have a 1-man defense top. And Hogger pushing by himself mid. I think this is very much in favor of Chili Mountain. Now, that's normal, of course, because they're pushing with the objective. Of course, it's favorable for them. But just not defending mid seems risky. They're going for Anduin. Banana 8's taking a lot of damage. Light Bomb actually gonna proc. He gets the shield. CPX trying to kill him. He gets tossed in by Brandon. Dragon Breath doesn't reach him. And they get away. Everyone gets away. Even after Anduin gets tossed in and Warlord's challenged under the fort. 3 forts fall, Bahamut.
That has to be frustrating for Storm. I'm watching this, and it's so many Chili Mountain members are getting low, and just no one's dying. And it's not like Storm Esports is missing damage. They've got CPX on Chromie, they've got Maka on the Falstad, but it just does not seem like they can break through the healing of Banana. Banana has been solid in his healing throughout, and playing this Anduin quite perfectly well.
He's been playing it very solid, and he's either saved people or himself with his bag of tricks, his hat of tricks. Meanwhile, there's going to be a boss trade. Always the null pack camp during the boss as well. In Storm League, you probably want to do everything together a little bit more, but it's very common when teams recognize that there is a boss trade going on, that the distance between your and the opponent's respective position is too great to invade the enemy boss. So there is a trade, which also allows you to greedily take an additional camp in the center. But again, the difference is that the Chili Mountain team also kills the null pack camp very quickly. They have completely free roam for some reason. They kill the null pack camp, defend the boss, and they are still pushing. They're still defending the boss for Storm in the top right.
Nasmus was in bottom lane for a little bit, tried to get the jet propulsion onto Hogger earlier on, and then just the rotation from Genji Murden was a little too much, and that's just another kill for the side of Chili Mountain, who are just they've got the playbook for Storm Esports. They know exactly how to answer every single. They have the quiz key, if that was a thing for you when you were a kid, where the teacher would have like the answer key, and one of your friends would maybe like steal it off her desk and then switch it, and then that way you could get all the answers right in the quiz, right, Grubby?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
totally never did that. I was a good wholesome kid. I never did anything like that.
I never tried in school. Going for Chromie. CPX gonna end his timeout early. He takes the Ancestral. He gets healed. Masquerade trying to lock him down. He gets locked down. There's a body check. Minus 30 heal. He jumps away. There's a time trap. He doesn't press the time trap in time to get murdered.
Wow. Skoog will be the one who's inside the time trap with the armor reduction. Maka is trying to come in here. Maka is going to jump into the backline. There's going to be a toss. There's a Warlord's challenge. X-Strike. It's Falstad to fall, but the members of Storm Esports will find a counter kill. It's a trade, 1-for-1. And that's the end of it.
X-Strike, X-Falstad, X-Genji. He was going to go down, but he made sure that his X-Strike was not just an escape, but was also an execution.
I like that one. That was good. It's because the execution, because it's really clever.
Yeah.
It's really just in case anyone in chat might have missed it. Just want to make sure I over-explain
please
the
do
joke.
explain.
Okay,
because it was unintentional. was unintended.
Comedy is best when it's
no.
over-explained. But we have no pecks in mid from both sides. We will see waves in bottom to be cleared. I'm looking at Chromie in top lane as well as the boss timers. Boss timers are roughly 2-minute 30 each, a little bit less for the top lane. But maybe a fight in mid will break out. Sylvanas just trying to clear from a safe distance.
And Masquerade is using Muradin as you would in a Nubarak. Using, Stormbolt blocked by, there we go, he has no jump.
Maybe.
That should be a kill. That should be a kill. It has to be a kill. And it is. Oh, I like what Brandon did a lot there. He's an experienced Garrosh, man. He's been putting the work in. This Hanzo player is now a good Garrosh. He's doing ER combos. And what he did there is doing the Wrecking Ball on Muradin to keep him in exactly the same place as he is already. He threw him exactly in the air to make sure that any skill shots that had been aimed on Muradin will continue to hit on him, even as he allows Muradin to remain in the same place for even longer. So really good job. He blocked the Stormbolt with the Unstoppable. It's just good play. And the reason, let's not forget, the reason Masquerade was there, he was trying to, one, get mana by hitting the grunts. You get mana every time with Muradin when you post level 10 auto attack anything. And two, he's using that sledgehammer to kill the grunts. And he just wants to start a couple of seconds of the objective channel without having any member of his team really committing for it to force an overreactive response by Storm Esports. More than one person has to come and stop him. And they did, and they got paid for it. But let's say that he got away. Now he's forced 3 people to dance like puppets to his strings, as his Sylvanas, his Haga are getting value elsewhere. So while it may feel risky what Masquerade did, it was definitely with a purpose, and he's like space created, right? And this time it didn't pay off. Brandon played it too well.
A little too much space created in that moment as Brandon will try and step in for a combo onto somebody, but the disengage between Genji and Sylvanas will be quick enough. Maka is throwing out some damage into top. Masquerade is going to dwarf toss in. Now Maka goes for the... Okay, nice angle on that. It's the barrel roll out, and that's the end of top lane engagement, I do think. I don't know if the fort will fall. Anduin goes down.
I missed that. I was trying to look for things happening elsewhere.
Same. I just the observer caught it, and I'm like, okay, Anduin's dead, but the top lane fort does fall. Blaze pushes up bottom really far, and still has a really, really healthy general.
Yeah, he's gonna choose not to die for it.
Smart.
I wonder if he stayed. Did he have one-on-one Sylv? Of course, Genji would then come.
Seems like the priority is this mid lane. Masquerade will be the target.
Hardened Shield?
Does get the Hardened Shield. Yeah, I saw that barrier on Masquerade. The Ancestor Healer with the Farseer's Blessing will be utilized from June, and there's more damage into Masquerade, who popped the Avatar and looked paper thin on a Muradin right there.
Yeah, well, paper thin, I mean, he must have taken like 10,000 damage, right? Living 1v4, you can only do it for so long. First, there was the Hardened Shield, which I find an interesting choice. What's cool about it compared to Rewind, so with Rewind, you need a certain casting time to cast everything you want. It's Dwarf Toss in, Stormbolt, Rewind, and then you W, Q again, then you E out. That generally doesn't work into Garrosh. Garrosh tends to manhandle melees quite a bit, so that even though Rewind is so insanely broken on the Nubarak Muradin, occasionally you won't take it just because you feel like you won't see the light of day with it. So you go for something else. Then there's the Unstoppable Force, the Avatar upgrade that gives armor and CDR for your Dwarf Toss and Reverberation, your Thunderclap. It's pretty cool, but again, it's like, you know, it's one hotkey. It's one avatar with one activity period. You're making your avatar stronger, but you're overlaying all that strength over a single area. So with Hardened Shield, you've got 2 separate timings, 2 separate cooldowns that you can work with to survive certain damage. And this time it didn't work out because he had already lost his Anduin, and he was trying to save keeps. And maybe his death was actually worth it in that it prevented a greater loss. But yeah, it remains to be seen. At this time, it's a boss versus boss. We have Chromie CPX defending in the bottom right. I wonder if he's gonna defend the whole thing. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think
Just
this
let
is
it.
a smart call. Yeah.
Yeah, you want this objective is so ungodly strong. You want to do an active defense.
And the other thing too is the momentum shift to Storm Esports in the post-game, post-20 has been really, really good so far. We talked about this during the draft, the delay potential for the Storm, for just Chromie, but also keep in mind, Maka does have the secret weapon at level 7, which increases the hammering distance it can travel, so the poke potential from the Falstad's really good. Or the flame streams from Blaze Garrosh with the Groundbreaker. This has been a really good delay. Dayquaza's getting very low. Masquerade comes in with a huge Dwarf Leap, is able to land onto one. Brandon throws him away. That's an Ancestor healing with the Farseer's Blessing. A Wind Tunnel into the wall as well. Jet Propulsion connects onto Masquerade. The objective is still going in favor for Storm Esports, and the one thing we didn't really talk about, beyond Wind Tunnel and Farseer's Blessing, is also we have the upgrade on Body Check at level 20, the Inner Rage. It's now a healing reduction of 45%.
Yeah, that's pretty sick, and you get 2 charges, don't you?
I do believe you get the extra charge of it as well, yeah.
That's sick.
It's
This
disgusting.
is some great Garrosh. Yeah, normally Garrosh feels weak to me, level 20 plus, but there is indeed very little poke against him, so it's a very well chosen pick. Oh my god, Brandon is taking names, boys.
I have to correct myself. I thought I misread the tooltip, but no, I did read it correct. It's an additional 45, so it's a 75% healing reduction.
Wait, what?
Because he used Body Check on Hogger just now, and I saw 75 next to his name, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was yeah, you can see it right there, a Masquerade as well.
Well, you gotta be really high IQ, like 75 and above, to read this correctly, because I didn't read it correctly either. Body Check gains... its healing reduction is increased. Wait, reduction increased? Huh?
Right, exactly, yeah. Garrosh pops Indomitable, stepping in through mid lane. Jet Propulsion will not connect from Nasmus. Masquerade thrown away. This is just to create room for the General to get this mid lane keep. Now, the bottom lane keep will fall as well. This is where Storm Esports could take map number 1.
Whoa, they're going for it. There's a General here. How much HP does the General have? 12.5k, that's about 1.5 Diablos, but they're deciding not to push on the core with this. It still has 20 armor. They're gonna respect it. They're gonna start pushing with the top General. Hogger is still dead for 1 second. Will they remain when Hogger could be back? Or will they pull back in 3, 2, 1? They remain.
Wind Tunnel is available. Actually, all heroics on both sides are available. And there's the disengage from the side of Storm Esports. Genji poking in with some shurikens. We do have the time stop from Chromie capturing 2. And I think right now, with the map, I wouldn't say flipped, but with the momentum definitely flipped to the side of Storm Esports, teams will respectively grab their null pack camps. Bosses right now, top lane, 1 minute, 9 seconds. Bottom lane, 1 minute, 25.
Top boss is of course most valuable to Storm, which should therefore also make it most valuable to Chili Mountain in order to defend their final keep and then the core. However, if Chili Mountain can get bottom boss straight, but they take it something like anywhere from 6 seconds faster to more, as long as it's not same time, then they could actually go to the bottom keep and the core quicker. So in a way, bottom boss is more valuable to Chili Mountain if they can take it first. Now the problem is, as you pointed out, there's a 20-second differential. Top becomes available first, so I think everyone's going to be looking at top. In fact, Chili Mountain wants to force something. Was that Wailing Arrow? It missed.
Wailing Arrow goes in, bunker down from the Blaze. This kind of just creates some terrain as Masquerade is getting chunked to nearly 50%. Should be able to heal up just fine with our 4th objective phase, if I'm not mistaken, up and available here in 17 seconds.
It's all about the upper half of the map, the upper hemisphere. Typically, even open cores don't die to massive minion waves on Alterac, unless there's also a null pack camp mixed in there. So you see that bottom lane, don't you worry about that. Now Brandon takes a lot of damage. There's the Ancestral. It's going to be a second charge of it. It's going to be AoE. It helps Blaze. That's an X-Strike. Genji on the backline. Make.
Banana had to self-light bomb to try and get away and also give a little bit of armor. It's a lot of damage into Chili Mountain members. 48 stacks on the Falstad as well with his level 1, so he chunks for quite a bit, especially when he activates his the frequent flyer value.
I think this was really good for Chili Mountain because they did use 2 ults, but they still have X-Strike from Reset. They have Avatar, they have Shockwave. And right now, there's only Bunker becoming available again. This is the perfect time to engage! Chili Mountain could reverse their fate right here! Shockwave! Garrosh dead the first time in this game. There's a very nice snipe by Mokka on the backline, though, against Anduin. He's saving the game here, but CPX goes down also.
This is a really good moment for Chili Mountain. I'm waiting patiently to see. Yes, they're going to chase in further on the side of Chili Mountain into Storm Esports. Storm will lose 3 members, still have 3 keeps. Now, this is this map is a lot different than our standard maps as we always talk about, but you need at least 2 keeps at this point with death timers long. You typically need 2 keeps to end the game. But yeah, I'm looking at Vandar Stormpike on the left hand side. Oh, he's getting
what about Maka? Maka flew bot to go and get the counter boss. He knew that Chili Mountain is taking the top boss. This is a boss plus objective play by Chili Mountain. But the boss in the bottom lane, Maka almost dead to boss, by the way, but not quite. The boss in the bottom lane actually threatens core.
Yeah.
Now, a level 24 boss against an open core that is actually actively taking damage, you need to kill that the whole way through. You cannot let this just go to core and be like, our core is gonna heal. Yeah, if your core is full life, then you can kill the boss about 60% of its life right now, tells my experience and judgment. If you bring it down to 40%, you can then ignore it and go to the objective or whatever, or start taking a fight or defending some other lane.
Whoa!
Whoa, my god.
Yeah, Make almost getting chunked by Maka after that boss stun, but it seems like Storm Esports, they have put their entire portfolio into this bottom lane push. This is the biggest.
Yeah.
This is a big investment. Big flank.
A little question, is the boss top actually a problem? But here's a Mighty Gust, Light Bomb to protect.
X-Strike comes through, Ancestor Healing will not connect in time. Shockwave onto the Garish in the backline as the Wailing Arrow will connect as well. We do have Anduin going down. Brandon is living through a lot of this. The boss will be on the core on the left-hand side. We do have boss and cavalry arriving through the top lane. Brandon, Nasmus, June, they want to end. They don't have Falstad. And that boss in top and bottom lane is gone. Boss in...
Storm's score is dying. Like, it's over. They can't get back. Masquerade just has to keep them here. Chili Mountain took a victory from the jaws of the shark or the salmon or the whatever fish we're on right now, but Chili Mountain has actually snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Congrats to them.
The hunter becomes the hunted as Chili Mountain will be able to take map number 1. A really, really good back and forth. That was actually a fantastic map 1 for this first series of the day, and it really does show the skill level that we're going to be seeing between these 3 teams today, who will eventually find, well, one of these 3 teams will find their place in the double elimination bracket further down in August. But of course, I think we've got Justing back in the mix if I'm not, oh, not yet. Okay, I thought we did. I got excited. And I was too excited about it. But Grubby, let's talk about this map right now. And let's start out with the MVP for Chili Mountain. Because for me, I know he died 3 times, but Banana was so critical for this team. He had less healing, but he was so critical for so many great team fights, as well as those light bombs as well. What are you thinking about the MVP for this Alterac pass map, whether it be Storm or Chili Mountain?
I feel like Skok had a lot of really good escapes, and he was the macro power that allowed Chili Mountain to build up some advantage now and then. But it's really hard to say. Like, Maka had a lot of good moments. He was basically distracting Chromie and Falstad on the backline to a degree. I think everyone on Chili Mountain played really, really well, I think. Mm-hmm. It's hard to point at a single member. I wouldn't be able to say for sure.
Well, what I do like from the side of Storm Esports, as we're kind of just discussing this last map, is that Brandon on Garrosh had really, really critical moments in the later portion of the game. I think the early game looked a little shaky, but once Garrosh was like, I feel like it was like level 16, when he had the Seasoned Soldier, or even maybe it was level 13 with the Blood Craze on his Bloodthirst for the extra healing over 3 seconds, it seemed like there was this transitional moment, and it also could have been Maka on the Falstad, getting his percent-based damage from sustained wins, and you also have the Ares Gust, which is going to pair well into your auto-attack, cooldown, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very, very interesting series so far, and I definitely think that the members of Storm Esports can roll this back, but it's just, how do they roll this back up against Chili Mountain, Grubby? Like, that's the hard part, because Chili Mountain they made like 1 or 2 mistakes throughout that entire game, it felt.
Yeah, I think this series, there's games where you look back and you say, God, like, that was really unwinnable. We played against a team that was just ahead of us in every single step of the way. And this wasn't one of those. For us, perhaps a little bit more obvious. Looking at all the cooldowns on both sides, we had Storm defending themselves against an attack on their own cavalry camp in that pre-final moment. Mm-hmm. At the objective, they defended themselves, and they had a 4-second cooldown on Bunker, and they had Slowing Sands.
Yeah. And
everything else was not available. And yet it was them pushing towards the left side of the map, even though they're a 3-keep team Andy against the 1-keep team Andy. So you're missing 3 heroic cooldowns, and the opponent has 3 to 4 heroic cooldowns,
Yeah.
and you're pushing in 5 versus 5, even though you're 3 keep against 1. Statistically, it's wrong. There's many other factors, though. There's feeling, there's judgment, there's all kinds of things, misjudgments, and I think we can say that that was statistically wrong, but it can still work. But Chili Mountain exactly read the situation right. They engaged right before Bunker came back up, knowing that they had 3 cooldowns. They had Avatar. I'm trying to think what else they had. They had Avatar, they had Wailing Arrow, I believe, and Shockwave. That's it. And they had that against only Slowing Sands and soon to be Bunker. No Warlord's Challenge, no Ancestral Healing, and one more thing, no Mighty Gust.
Yep.
So this is where Chili Mountain turned it around. They seized the perfect opportunity. If Chili Mountain had just said, let's just wait and think for 5 seconds, they would have missed their window. That's how impressive Chili Mountain's comeback was and where Storm went wrong. So Storm doesn't need to go into crisis mode and think, oh, we can't win. No, like it came down to that. They had done all the winning moves until that moment.
It was like there was great team fights. The momentum was shifting back to Storm. They'd taken down 2 keeps, and there was that kind of corridor fight with the Bunker and the Slowing Sands a little overlapped, and then you have the Shockwave that once that Bunker was over, that Shockwave was kind of like the nail in the coffin. Some good bounces as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at map number 2 in our first best of 5 of the day and find out where we're going to be going to for our next map in the series. Chili Mountain will be choosing the map as Storm Esports has opted in for first pick priority, and it is going to be Infernal Shrines, rotation heavy based map. Objective phase is often very empowered. Not often, it's very empowered by Sylvanas, so we could be seeing a priority under her. We could also see a ban priority under her, as Skoog played extremely well in that last game, shutting down towers and amplifying the available dive to get enemies underneath the tower. So really, really strong map for both these teams, but Chili Mountain really playing well at the start of our series today. I'm excited to see what Storm Esports does on this map, if they bring out any interesting tech, because we did have so many bans onto tanks last game. We had Joanna Diablo, who else am I? Ethereal ban as well, and then I'm missing one, a Nubrek. We had 4 tank bans in the last map, so I wonder if that will continue between these two teams, or if it's going to change more into the brawler sort of get rid of Junkrat and maybe even Mephisto.
Yeah, by removing Johanna and Diablo, you're making sure that the tank becomes more killable, feels more killable. Diablo has that insane 75 spell armor, the large health pool, and even when you kill him, he comes back. Johanna's got the unstoppable. So if you want to play playstyles where you can say, just kill the tank, CC him and lock him down and take him down, then that's what you will be banning, and that's what you will be focusing your bans around. That was Alterac. Going to a little bit of a smaller map with... Do we want to say this is a weaker objective than Alterac? I would say probably so, Baha.
Yeah, I would say it's weaker. Maybe like Arcane is like the best, like by a little bit, but yeah. No,
sometimes
it
Frozen,
is weaker, yeah.
Sometimes Arcane. Maybe Alterac is a 9 on the strength, and this one is like a 7.5. Like it's pretty alright.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. About that's always the right number.
It's always.
But so yeah, so let's see how it plays out and which heroes will be prioritized. We saw an early Blaze prioritization by Storm, exactly along the predictions from their yesterday's drafts. It was beaten once now, but Storm, I feel like they only made 2 big mistakes. The chase without heroic cooldowns at the objective that we just delineated, and then when they boss traded to push with their bottom boss rather than to just defend, because they could have just gone 2 versus 1 keep. They lose top keep, then defend would have been fine, but they went to do for a massive team fight bottom left. 2 major mistakes at the end of the game should lose you the game, even if you are ahead.
And I absolutely agree. Like I could feel that, like that shot call though from Storm. You could definitely be like, okay, yeah, they want to end off this. They feel like they can end off of it if things go their way. And there was a great flank from Falstad. It just did not work out whatsoever. Like it was, they got the Anduin, but they just couldn't get like Genji. Genji with the extract resets was so big. But let's move forward into Infernal Shrines. We got some bans, not as many tank bans coming through this time, but a respect onto the Hogger. First pick for Storm, so they might actually be wanting the Sylvanas and letting it through for now to try and either force the ban or well, we'll see a Blaze ban. So still the members of Chili Mountain don't want to deal with the Storm Esports Blaze. But I am wondering, like, I feel like this could be early Sylvanas. Because it's just good. It's not bad at all.
Yesterday when Blaze was banned, they left their solo lane until last, and it was the Haka. So once Blaze is banned, Storm didn't have something else that they immediately want. They they opened up with, let's see, they have Junkrat. I think they would have opened up with Junkrat, if I remember correctly, on Sky Temple.
Okay.
Or Rhaegar. Or Chromie.
I'd have to go back and.
Oh, actually, it shows in order on Wikipedia. They opened with
perfect.
Chromie when Blaze was banned. Now it's going to be the Lucio opener.
Whew, that's a really good start for Chili Mountain. I mean, the initiation of Diablo. We already saw the Sylvanas in the last game, so we know it's going to be good. But now, what do the members of Storm Esports try and counteract this with? Is this going to be an early Tychus that they will grab to just shred through Diablo? Percent damage with Leoric and a Sergeant Hammer. Okay, I like it.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Leoric to kill Diablo. Sergeant Hammer can absolutely kill Diablo. She can interrupt his Shadow Charge with Concussive Blast. She gets Giant Killer at level 16, or other forms of bonus damage. Either way, it slaps. And Leoric, I find him quite good on offlane against Sergeant Hammer. Doom is a good counter to Hyper Thrusters. So, taking that away, making sure that cannot be used against Hammer, that's pretty cool. Lucio's movement speed together with Hover Siege, that makes Sergeant Hammer a normally moving hero. like a Rainer, pretty much. This quite good.
I wonder if there's a consideration for an Anduin ban because of the Entomb Leoric.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anduin could be the pickup here to just make sure that no one gets locked inside of there. Also, as I said, Bananas Anduin was really good. There's still things like Deckard available, Stukov is still available, but the Anduin is going to be a counteraction it's a counter hero for that Entomb playstyle. So I like that heads-up ban. We'll see how Chili Mountain adjusts into the latter portion of the draft.
Can still go Medivh.
Oh, crap, you're right. The Birdman just completely flew out of my brain.
Imagine going Rhaegar Medivh. Sylvanas is kind of okay as a hyper carry. Medivh adds a bit of damage. Whoa, no way! Yes, really? We're gonna get Alexstrasza, guys! Alexstrasza, her best map, Infernal Shrines, but she's so rare. We've only seen Yasuo pick Alexstrasza before, as I can recall, in many seasons of CCL, and I don't think it worked out neither. Now we've got several monsters. We've got the monster that's Diablo, and then the monster that's Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. But she's got weaknesses. Outside of Dragon Queen, sometimes she can get CC'd a lot. Mephisto.
Okay, sorry. I was wondering if the last pick from Chili Mountain was going to be Mephisto because of the Globe synergy with Alexstrasza with his level 4. And not a lot of people take it, but the level 13 for heroic cooldown reduction as well. So I wonder if this was actually a little bit of a steal. Like Chili Mountain was ramping up for this Mephisto because he played Alexstrasza can get her 15 globes really, really quickly in the double soak. That just means Mephisto's constantly getting spite value from level 4. So this will be a Hanzo pickup here. It's still a very good hero, but I think Storm Esports kind of had like a heads up moment. In my brain I was about to throw it to Justin. Sorry, go ahead.
you think Storm took Mephisto to spite Chili Mountain? Yeah. Anyway, it's also
I love it.
It's also
You're
really
on point today.
I live for the cringe. It's also really good Mephisto in general against large-bodied individuals like Diablo, like Dragon Queen, like Chen. You're getting much more likely PvP mini procs for your spells to give cooldown reduction for your different basic abilities. And the circle of Alexstrasza gives you an amazing focus target for all of your spells.
I expect Sergeant Hammer to be going Napalm Strikes, so that's just going to be right on the circle. You've got Mephisto. He can just Durance of Hate right there onto the circle as well. Leoric can throw an Entomb in there. Blessed Shield. There's so many things. And when we get into the range of percent damage, Mephisto's got it. Leoric's got it. Sergeant Hammer has got it. We've got healing reduction from Lucio. I love the idea of Storm Esports winning this. I feel like they can, but we actually... as we load it in. Looks like we have a pause from one player, so we're going to get our admin on that really quickly. But Grubby, we're about to load in, and we can continue talking about this. What are your thoughts here on the drafts as well?
Little thing to point out first. Ultralisk was not part of map number 1. Chili Mountain won nonetheless. He is aimed to be the main lineup, but he wasn't there yet because he was still on the train back from Paris. He has made it back, and he is in this game. He's the Hanzo. Just wanted to point that out. We didn't say it yet.
That is kind of that's amazing, the dedication to go to one place, play a LAN, hop on a train, get home, and then log in and start playing for the league. That's just good dedication. So I just want to point that out. It's really, really nice to see, especially for his team as well. But yes, we have a pause. We have no real communication as to what it is, but we'll figure that out in just a second here. Overall, for Infernal Shrines, I think the Mephisto steal was really big, but the Hanzo pickup still can be extremely strong. We could see Lightning Breath or Apocalypse Diablo, and then Mind Controller Wailing Arrow's huge. And then Hanzo, he can go into either heroic as well. I think it boils down to what Chen goes into, because if Chen goes into Keg, you really don't want the Pretzel, the Dragon Strike. You want more of the Dragon's Arrow, because you want to lock him down, and then Chen can knock him into a wall or something like that. But I expect it to be Storm Myth and Fire realistically, because Keg would be such a disruption to the draft of Chili Mountain, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you might be right. But then again, imagine being Sergeant Hammer into Wandering Keg.
Yeah, that would be hard and awful.
It could be really difficult. You can, of course, take the level 4 Unstoppable, though, some people may feel like the lifesteal is a red card talent for Hammer at 4. But it's actually really good to tie things together, to make sure that you're always ready for an enemy engage, because you're always full life. Having to rely on your healer for every little bit of sustain is tough. Keep in mind that Sergeant Hammer, when she kills a minion wave, she generally does it from a splash siege perspective, which means she doesn't get to pick up the globe. And so you kind of got to take care of your own healing oftentimes.
So it looks like the players we're trying to get an ETA from the players, and we'll figure that out in just a second as to what they want to do or what is going on getting ready for map number 2, Infernal Shrines. We have a little bit of a pause right now, so we do apologize about that one. Looking on the opposing side, things like Falling Sword, I really wonder if we will see the Falling Sword here, just to make sure that that Storm Esports has a secondary cleanse, because I see a world where you can see high 5 for one layer of cleansing because of Diablo, and even just Hanzo Arrow can be big. So I wonder if it could be like a double cleanse right there. But I think we have some readies coming out from the team, so we will get into this game here in just a second. Thank you all so much for your patience. We do apologize about the slight delay, but the readies are out, and we are going to get going into our map. Let's go ahead and introduce our amazing teams here, because on the left-hand side, we got Chili Mountain, Make on the Sylvanas, Banana on the Alexstrasza, Masquerade to play the Diablo, Ultralisk on the Hanzo, and Skoog to play the Chen. On the right-hand side, we have got Storm Esports, Brandon on the Joanna, CPX on the Mephisto, Nasmus on the Leoric, June to play the Lucio, and Maka on the Sergeant Hammer. I'm feeling Storm Esports again here, Grubby. What do you, I know I've kind of asked you what you think, but what do you think? Like, who do you think could take this, maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking Storm Esports as well, and I think your predictions have been pretty on point during this draft and with the picks, and I think you're probably right with the Falling Sword as well. As you say it, I feel a sense of trueness. Like, if I was a Twitch chatter to your stream, I would type true in all caps, just to understate your, to underscore your point.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I feel validated. I feel correct, and hopefully I will be. But let's go ahead and break down our first engagement. There's going to be a healing circle on the ground. Alexstrasza trying to get those regeneration globes, as well as Chen picking up those globes at level 1. Looking to see really quickly, the Diablo level 1 is also just going to be that spell shield. So I'm just skimming. Nothing really out of the ordinary. CPX is low, but is able to back away. Oh, actually, no.
He teleported back in, noob! No, you can only teleport back in.
I thought where he had went was his origin point, so I flipped it in my head. Oh, no, okay, CPX goes down.
I know why you thought that, because you'd be wondering, why is Mephisto rotating on the left side of the map by himself through 3 to 4 members, and I think you are correct in thinking so, but occasionally misjudgment, occasionally small
CPX
mistakes.
diff. CPX diff. I think that's what we can chalk that up to right there.
It happens.
It does. All right, so let's also inform everyone at home as to what our first objective will be. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher in the top lane. We'll see the announcement for that in about a minute. Contestant in a minute 30. But speaking, oh god, Nasmus. This reminds me of map number 1 of the early game with Chili Mountain just making these quick rotations into the jungle, the rotational area, whatever you want to call it in the MOBA terms. But just these rotations quickly to get the gank on the solo laner when you would expect an enemy to be rotating back down to bottom lane to keep building up the Alexstrasza. So really, really good rotation from Chili Mountain. Good double first kill as well.
Actually going for the W build as Alexstrasza.
Yes.
Even though there was a Twitch chatter that said W build sucks. And he's still doing it. That's crazy.
Uh-oh. We'll have to get that Twitch chatter to 1v1 Alex Banana after this. And we'll see. 1v1, level 20, no wells, no hearthing.
And Diablo didn't go for the red card, the Caterpillar red card talent for benefiting from globes from Alex.
I was
Still
wondering
Soul
if you
Shield.
would.
Yeah, no Devil's
Yeah.
Due.
I like that call. Wow, I thought Nasmus was going to greed for that a little bit, but doesn't look like it, and we don't have a kill. Maka is able to get the camp. Oh, I misread Joanna for a second. I glanced and I saw a blue bar somehow, some way, and I was like, oh, Maka's going to die and get invaded.
I've shot skill shots at allies before because I saw a body, but not the
you
color
panic,
yet.
yeah. You see the model before you look at the bar or the name, and you're like, oh, no, please.
No friendly
I
fire,
don't wanna
luckily, in
die.
HoTS. Imagine how toxic the game would be if there was
Oh my
friendly
God.
fire.
It's, well, we won't talk about it. I saw that Towers of Doom game earlier, and that's all I'll say. But we have Masquerade going in. Yeah. Masquerade going in, taking a lot of damage. He will go down. That's a great kill for the set of Storm Esports.
Whoa.
And Sylvanas as well in the mid lane. Great rotation from CPX to get the double kill for his team. And things have shifted back over to Storm Esports when it comes to control for this top lane objective.
I thought you were going to slip in an alternative word there. You were like going all the keyboard buttons. Things have shifted, control of the shrine. I'm like,
I didn't even catch it. God dang.
where's the alt? As they entered their plea for a win in this game.
Well, it's Chili Mountain who want to alt the direction of this objective, but they're not going to be able to do it, and this will be Storm Esports with the Arcane Punisher and a Sergeant Hammer. And I will say, Mephisto too, he does great siege because if you use that Lightning Nova, you can get damage onto the gate 2 towers, so it's a lot of really great gate siege from Mephisto.
Yeah, I love that talent from Mephisto. It's not like the Ding Quest talent, but that one only interacts with players, whereas the Lightning Nova gets more wave clear and siege damage. I should play this one more often, because I'm always like, questings, but you know what the best questing of all is? One win. Just
like
getting one win, like things like, yeah, that's the best one. Let's not get Merlin Stormbolt quest, guys. Let's get the one win quest.
But I will say, I mean, playing Zul'jin or Vala and, you know, getting autos or W's is very, very, very satisfying.
True.
Let's see. Let's take a look around what we have. So we have Alexstrasza done, Hanzo on 11 out of 20 stacks. The Chen is going to be going into the freshest ingredients, which is really good synergy with Deadly Strike. We've talked about this in the past, but freshest ingredients, when you finish it, the reward is that the Fortify Brew cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds, and the shield persists indefinitely after drinking. Deadly Strike at level 4, Flying Kick no longer costs brew, but additionally, it deals increased damage by 125%, while Chen has shield from Fortifying Brew. So good synergy from the 1 in 4 talent for our Chen player. Just something I want to point out right there, because we don't get a ton of Chen, and I really like the direction he's going. Also, the Elusive Brawler at level 7 is great to avoid some of the incoming auto attack damage. And it gives him movement speed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it gives him mount speed for 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's overall it's a really good talent. For sure, a nice little tech tree that Chen has there, and he did go for the Wandering Cake. So get ready to Cake W. Yep.
I hope to watch back the VOD and see a lot of Chen W's and Keg W's in chat. But Masquerade goes in, Lifebinder. great Lifebinder. I'm glad to see that pick up as well. The level 20 upgrade for Lifebinder is really, really strong. Cleansing Flame can be good as a disengage or even a potential way to kill an enemy or snipe someone, but I like the Lifebinder. It's just so very, very strong, even as I mentioned with the 20 procs.
It's one of the strongest ults on what's generally a bit of a weaker healer. Just reading it, it's insane. It's 700 health on both Alex and the target over 2 seconds. So that's like half an Ancestral, but on 2 targets. So it has Ancestral level healing. And then when it procs, it equalizes the lowest health to the highest health percentage. So it does way more healing than Ancestral, and it's only on a 50-second cooldown.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. It's just how low the cooldown it is. Like, it's like, wow, those are all really, really cool things, and it's like, and it's less than a Blessed Shield. It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Because Ancestral's 90 seconds, and this is like a, I'd say this is like a 0.75 Ancestral. It's almost as good.
It can be better. Like, if Diablo has 1%,
way better too.
Alex is 100, then it's healing for like 10,000 health. And at level 20, you do it twice over.
So let's talk about our next shrine. It is going to be in the bottom lane. Frozen Punisher, Make being pushed in by Nasmus for the time being. Chen looking for an angle on the Wandering Keg, I do think, as the arrow comes out from Hanzo, connecting onto the Sergeant Hammer. Endurance of Fate will not connect from CPX into the backline. And some good zoning has been had by the members of Chili Mountain, only burning an arrow. And that's an Entomb from Leoric in top lane.
That was a bad
the
keg.
cooldown. And the Keg felt like zoning more than anything else.
He tried to walk up, but he got pushed back, and then he already turned on Keg. I think what happened is his Keg procced after he got pushed back, and he realized it was useless already.
Sylvanas is here. She's got the Wailing Arrow. We could see her utilize that as huge circle out from Alexstrasza in her Dragon Queen form. Keep in mind also that her auto attacks heal allies around her. So when she's autoing, keeping her allies kind of around the dragon model is really, really beneficial because of the Arcing Flame getting some healing to allies nearby. I don't know the range, but we do know that there's a fight continuing. Alexstrasza with the Lifebinder getting Skoog to full. That's going to be Mephisto coming out. There's a Wailing Arrow at some point. Nasmus will go down to the Shadow Charge. And Chili Mountain, they're looking to pressure Hammer, who gets the high five from June. Kick in from Wandering.
What?
Whoa!
What?
That's
Wandering Cake, more like standing still Cake, lol. He was stuck in like the wall for a bit.
Someone closed the garage door on Chen right there, so he's trying to roll out. He's just like, wait, no!
He's like, help me, Step Panda, I'm stuck.
I chose the wrong time to drink water. The Entomb from Leoric will be utilized. Arrow passing by the enemy as the Fort Friend Gate goes down from Storm. Storm with a really good defense, and Chili Mountain loses their fort in top lane. The Fallen Shaman getting a lot of value here.
Dude, that's crazy. Chili Mountain did such a good team fight. They had the Dragon Queen value. Now, before that objective started, we did see Leoric, which was Nasmas in the top lane, pushing a large bruiser camp. And Chen willingly left it to kill his entire top fort in order to try and get the best possible team fight. With hindsight, he should have just stayed, because he didn't help too much there. And, you know, of course he did help in the team fight. He did help. And then just unlucky there at the gate. But now a fight. This is good for Storm. Already they did a very good defense, and now they're getting a 5 versus 3. They get the double kill.
I'm looking, Alexstrasza did go Pacify at level 13. She did use it right there. I was trying to see if I could find which character was pacified, but it doesn't matter because the next objective... Oh, wait, hold on. Leoric in mid lane is being pressured. He's got a lot of damage on him, but he's able to Wraith Walk away. Okay. All right. I was worried for him, but he's A-okay at the time being. And the bottom lane fort will fall, which is going to give periodic catapult pressure and passive experience gain to Storm Esports, who are pulling ahead in experience as well. Chili Mountain, they need to make a fight happen soon, but Alexstrasza, she just now respawns. This might just be 16 rolled in for the side of Storm as they get decent damage onto this fort.
Nice Entomb attempt there. Let's take a look at the damage numbers. Sergeant Hammer, 40,000, which is double that of Mephisto, 20,000.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So much hero
Holy
damage.
crap.
On the other side, Sylvanas, 25,000. Hanzo, 23,000. Overall, it's the Hammer here that's doing the most damage. He's got that giant killer. He's got the hyper cooling engines. And fantastic defense, really, of that Punisher. Gave them a strong counterattack. Now Storm is working on killing the final outer frontier of defenses. They were very ahead last game. They're ahead again. Can they keep it up? Or will Chili Mountain do the return again?
Arrow onto one in the backline. That was the Joanna. Sylvanas to fall. Mephisto traded. Masquerade still with the Lightning Breath. Alexstrasza with the Lifebinder comes in just in time. Nasmus very low. Has to Wraith walk away. Cancels it early as the Blessed Shield will be utilized by Brandon to try and save Nasmus. And it does work out. So we see Sylvanas, Mephisto traded. The Fort taking maybe another 10th of damage, or like 10% of damage. Not that much.
Yeah. And that was a good Lifebinder though. Definitely a good Lifebinder. And what's funny is when you're almost killing someone that has Lifebinder, it's when you attack them again and you're not killing them, it's completely negated, right? No other heal works that way, I think. But if you could get one hit on Alex, that would stick on both of them. So every hit you do on Alexstrasza counts double. It's quite interesting.
Just looking at the Sergeant Hammer movement speed while Lucio's around, it's just showing me that it's at like 60%. Great Entomb! Diablo uses the Shadow Charge to get out of the Entomb. Nasmus, Wraith walking through the enemies as he does have that ominous Wraith Royal Focus combo, level 13-16 for the cooldown reduction. There's an Endurance of Hate over the wall from Mephisto. He's trying to find that percent-based damage as Hanzo rips an arrow into the face of the enemy. I'm not sure if that really dissuaded much. Nasmus continuing to reduce the damage by Wraith walking through the enemy consistently as the Dragon Queen form of Alexstrasza is out and available. Lifebinder onto Masquerade. He's back to full HP. We do have the Wandering Keg pushing people around as Chen is dropping to around. Actually, he's going to get healed almost back to full. That healing over time. Big scatter out from Hanzo as well. A lot of damage onto Nasmus, who's just trying to back away. And that's into Punisher to the side of Chili Mountain. Big flying kick.
I love this draft so much by Chili Mountain, how they're playing it. During this fight, I just listened to the gentle, dulcet tones of my friend Bahamut casting that fight, and I'm listening to what's going on. But I was only looking at Chen. How he constantly used enough to share, to heal his allies, shield his allies, and then that gave Alex the window to have her slower heals actually proc. Two quote-unquote meme heroes that we almost never see, but working together, providing a great synergy, and making themselves nearly unkillable against the considerable damage that Storm Esports is fielding here. That has given the Punisher to Chili Mountain, and despite a large experience deficit, 2 forts go down, and Chili Mountain has a chance again.
Chili Mountain is back into the game. Even structures between both teams. Mid lane fort for Chili, top lane fort for the side of Storm Esports. And I really do like, so in Heroes of Storm, years ago they changed the terminology from support to support, and then there's healers as well. Chen falls in that like support category, like an ETC as well, and you might be like, Bahamut, ETC is a tank. Well, ETC can give block stacks, he can give heals to his allies, he can give speed to his allies. Those are things that support the team. Chen, with enough to share, is supporting his team, and I absolutely love the synergy between Alexstrasza and Chen. As you were mentioning, Grubby, there's the slow heals of Alex, but also enough to share, which
Leo,
is
top lane.
also extra shielding. Like, I love how Chili Mountain
Leo.
drafted this. Leo on top, Leo on top.
Sorry, I 100% agree with you. I just wanted to see if they're gonna go get the Leo.
Thank you.
And they do. Meanwhile, Chen got away.
Exactly. Chen was just creating space for his team, and he actually might pop Wandering Keg just to slow down the rotation as he's just above the enemy in the bush, but doesn't seem like Skoog will do that. He's just going to hang out here, sees Brandon, and just says, okay, I'm out of here.
Brandon
also,
I
did see a quick question in chat. Brandon is unaverted. It was a change. Unaverted no longer wanted to be called unaverted. Apparently, I've talked to Justin about this. Unaverted has always just liked to be called Brandon, his real name. So he swapped to Brandon. So that's the reason why. If anyone's like, who's Brandon? It's Unaverted. He changed his name because he just wants to be called. That's like me going from Bahamut to being like, I just want to be called Chris. I prefer not, but you know, that's essentially it. If anyone is wondering, but the 20
I'll respect that, Chris.
Storm. Oh no. Oh no.
You Barbara Streisand at that one big time. No, I'll call you by your full name, Bahamut Gaming Esports Games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shiniest head in all of esports. So mid lane to be worked on by the side of Storm Esports. The Entomb does not connect.
Oh, nice
It's
base by
alive, too.
Masquerade. That's 2 ults already dodged by Masquerade. Now they don't have level 20. They're actually going to engage. They feel like level 19 against 20 is good enough. When 2 ults get missed, they go in with the arrow. But that one also kind of flopped.
Still, Still Hammer peppering in as much as she can. Look at Leoric at the top of our screen. He's looking for something. Blessed Shield from John is available if she wants to try and set something up, but it's just Maka who's just trying to get some splash damage onto the fort, and the Shrine is activating in 5 seconds, so Storm goes for the positioning. Chili Mountain looking for the camp on the left.
Did you hear that Ultra Capacitators cacophony? The cadence of attacks.
Oh, just like the boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Like, can we see the hero damage for a sec, production? Just comparing Sergeant Hammer. 105,000.
Wow.
105,000. That's crazy. 0 deaths. Hey, keg. Is there a keg? No keg yet.
Keg's available. Arrow in 14. There's a Durance of Hate onto 1. There's the Wandering Keg that you were talking about with the Lifebinder onto Chen as well. In tune with the Buried Alive onto Sylvana. She's trying to back away and does go down. That's going to be the Diablo Souls reset High Five City from June. He does have that Mixing Fire. Trying to get some damage. Mimic from CPX as Chen is creating space to allow Alex Straz and Hanzo to back away.
Don't you just hate it? You pick Chen. You do the thing. You go in with the keg. You're disrupting everybody. You're pushing enemy ranged assassins into your backline, and then you're like, team, I was keeping 5 of them busy. How could you die? That's my feeling when I pull a Chen move. But then when you think about it, I guess Chen isn't doing loads of damage during keg, and while he's pushing people around, he's not doing shields. So it is a high risk move, and you kind of have to respect and understand that. And he was trying to get Hammer, and that didn't really work out, probably because of June constantly doing high fives at the right time. So all he got was Mephisto, but even Mephisto did a little bit of a teleport with that Mimic that just did massive damage. So now it's suddenly Mephisto keeping 3 people busy as they wait for him to teleport back to a jeopardized position. Meanwhile, what's happening to Diablo? He's 2v4 in top lane.
So we have a Lifebinder there. I was waiting for it onto Masquerade, so he's going to get the multi-procs of that. Punisher will take down the fort with the help of Sergeant Hammer. And Storm Esports, this is what I was watching for in their positioning. They leave. They're done. They don't want to take any more fights on the enemy core. They don't think they can end right here. So it is just going to be the mid lane fort to be quickly taken down. But Chili Mountain, they're trying to deny that, and they just can't get into a defensive position quick enough with Leoric clearing out the camp before it gets much value on the keep front gate. Good play from Storm Esports overall in the macro front.
Chili Mountain immediately goes across the map. Oh, arrow! Oh! Nice dodge.
CPX not going to be hit by that one. We've got some minions scratching that shielding of the Chili Mountain core, but no actual percent to fall. Nasmith Wraith walking forward does get a lot of scouting, but he's in a scary spot where he was. I thought Masquerade was going to look for the lineup onto him, but no Shadow Charge initiation. This could be a big brawl over just a singular camp.
Yeah, and who wants that more? Technically, Chili Mountain should want it more. They also have Diablo Hanzo, who love to fight under such conditions with not lots of walls. But then there is the fact that there's no arrow yet. And I think that's probably the reason why they left.
That would actually absolutely make sense to me. It's kind of the 1-2 punch setup for that combo. But here's an Entomb, doesn't connect. It's a low cooldown, 50 seconds, the same as Lifebinder.
It's the Purifying Brew level 20 that gave him Unstoppable, that allowed him to jump out. Yeah, it was such a good outplay by Scope.
I was a little worried about his positioning at the end of that Wandering Keg. We do have the high five from Lucio. CPX dropped to 50%. Brandon over here as well. Masquerade still fishing, and he's not going to catch anything on his hook.
Yeah, Masquerade looking to get that flank on Hammer there. Khazra Impaler Catapult, meanwhile, got to the bottom keep wall already. I really like how Skulk has played it so far. Let's compare offlane damage and effect a bit. He's got 25,000 hero damage on Chen. Leoric has 33,000 damage. Leoric has 3 deaths, Chen has 2. And how many last hits, how many kills have they got? Chen 0, Leoric 0. And then the XP contribution, Leoric 21,000, Chen 11,000.
Wow.
So Leoric's definitely been putting more map pressure. Maka has been having to catch a lot of those waves in return.
Diablo Entomb, there's a heal underneath him, there's a Lifebinder, everything being thrown into Diablo. The high five coming through as well to try and just reduce the healing, but it's not working out with that that Mixing Fire. We have Chen, he's got like 700 HP, Diablo goes down, he doesn't have souls to respawn, he's only got 54. Chen trying to drink through the pain, he's got damage over time applied, gets the heal from Alex Straza, but now 2 camps pushing to core, Diablo dead. What will Storm Esports do? Will they go for objective, play it slow and safe? Seems like that is exactly the case.
Yeah, Storm will do what siege tanks have been doing since 1998. They siege. Proceeding! D-Logic 2, sir! They're gonna push.
That was good. That was really good.
I
felt like I
Bruno.
got taken back. I felt like I got taken back to my childhood right there. As the Entomb will not connect, but I keep mentioning it's a 50-second cooldown, not that big of a deal. Diablo up in 18 seconds. Chili Mountain running towards Storm makes me nervous for Chili Mountain. Bless Shield's available. Burns of 8 connects onto 1. That's the Alex. That's the target you want.
There is Bless Shield. He decided not to just because he saw the Lifebinder coming through. It's the second engage that Storm thinks they can get some result. Watch Brandon. He has a Captain America shield. Will he throw it away into the opponent?
Well, here comes Diablo. He's making his way into all of this. Nasmus will Wraith walk out to get some vision for his team and also reduce the enemy damage. Masquerade coming in here as well. 54 souls on the Diablo, and it looks like Chili Mountain are rushing back behind their gate to set up the defense to pull the Punisher over the wall. This is Mortar, arguably the weakest of the 3 Punishers, but it's still an objective, it's still push potential, and it still does clap into structures for nearly 500 damage. Currently 450 damage into structures per auto.
Yeah, and it also has 5 Diablo health bars. It's very tanky, this Punisher. That's a big combo, and Wah! Right before he got healed fully from Lifebinder, Chen goes down in a very important kill for Storm. This is probably going to be the equalizer. See, we told you it's not going to be 3-0s today. It looks like the 1-1 is coming right here. The final moments of game number 2 as Chili Mountain struggles to make the defense happen, but the siege tank is sieging. The Mephisto is Mephistoing, fisting, and that's it. Game number 2 goes to Storm Esports.
Mephisto's gonna Mephisto, and that was a fantastic draft map and play from both sides, but it did feel for the vast majority of that game that it was a lot of control coming out from the side of Storm Esports with that siege tank, with the Mephisto as well, with kind of just the spread damage, but also, as you had mentioned, Grubby, Leoric. Nasmus Leoric, he didn't land every Entomb, but he landed some very good and critical Entombs that really gave momentum over the side of Storm Esports. The top lane where there was the Sylvanas caught in the Entomb when there was that Wandering Keg displacing everyone else, but Leoric was just casually with the Buried Alive post level 20 just erasing that Sylvanas. Really, really good play from Nasmus. Maka, I mean, you can see the damage right here, chat. 162,000 damage. That is... He's doubled Hanzo's damage easily. Yeah. He's actually he's done more than double.
Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely insane. And of course, Lucia has less healing, but you can't heal that, which is already full if there's less poke. Of course, there was a lot of healing to be done for Banana Age because there was so much damage coming out of Mephisto and Sergeant Hammer. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, insane damage by Mokka. Pressure all around. Pressure in the main lane by Hammer, by Mokka. Pressure on the side lane by Naz. Altogether, a very nicely put together draft. And among 5 maps so far of Storm in the playoffs, the first different draft. We had 4 similar drafts, and this is the first new one with Mephisto and Hammer.
What it also brings to the table is it shows that Storm Esports knows how to not only siege, and maybe I'm digging too deep into this, but during the draft, I think the Mephisto snipe was huge at the end of the draft. I think that did throw things off for Chili Mountain, forcing them onto like something like the Hanzo, but also just being able to play with the Sergeant Hammer, that shows a level of skill. It shows a level of their comfort as drafters on the side of Storm Esports. So we'll see how Chili Mountain is able to adjust here. I do think that Chili Mountain played very well. I just think that Maka difference, kind of. It's kind of Maka difference. And like June also healed out of his mind. I really, it's hard for me to kind of label an MVP for this last matchup, Grubby.
Yeah, it might actually be June, the most unsung hero. Quiet, 0 flashy plays, right? He's not Yazu, who is using Lucio to try and get backline kills.
Yeah.
0 deaths, so we never talk about him. But every single time, he would have stopped Wandering Keg. Every single time, he didn't make mistakes. It might actually quietly just be June. Sure, Hammer, Mokka right-clicks opponents, but it's up to June to make sure that no points are being scored against their goal.
Well, we're in the midst of our first best of 5 of the day, and it's quite a good one. No 3-0 just yet, as we will continue to see how this series will evolve throughout the day, because we're not done by any means. What we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be taking a short little break. We're going to be able to stretch our legs, get another cup of tea or some water, and research some more bird facts. Grubby, did you know that there are 2 species of magpie in the United States, and where I live, it actually borders the 2 different areas. So you can tell the magpie difference by their beak. Like, I think it's like a black beak or like an orange or yellow beak. And those are
the black-billed. You mean the black-billed magpie and the yellow-billed magpie?
Yes.
Yes, I was aware of that.
Yeah, they live, so I get to see both of them. There's your bird fact of the day. Come to Lake Tahoe and see 2 different types of birds. But we are going to be taking a short little break. In that break, I encourage you to hit exclamation point prize pool. Why? Well, because things have changed over at the prize pool here for HeroesCCL. The teams will be taking 100% of the prize pool. There's no longer a split between Wisdom and the teams. It is 100% to the teams. Wisdom will also be adding in $10,000 at the end of the season. So right now, if we were to hit the end of the season, right at this moment, it would be $24,092, and first place takes 35% of that. So if you would like to donate towards the prize pool, if you want to support the teams that could potentially, or the teams that will be taking this 100% of the prize pool, use exclamation point in chat. But I and Grubby and hopefully Justin will be back fairly soon with our first series of the day of Chili Mountain versus Storm Esports. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby. We're trying our best to get Justin back into the mix. Springy is working extremely hard, calling all the service providers, climbing up poles, trying to reconnect wires. We will get Justin back in here as soon as we possibly can. So until then, you are going to be graced by our lovely faces and just a lot more Grubby and Bahamut. And so while we're getting things ready for map number 3 in this series between Chili Mountain and Storm Esports, in our ladder bracket weekend here, the winner, of course, going up against Diamond Hands later today. I was thinking about this during the break, Grubby, and I had mentioned random bird facts of the town I live in. Do you, I don't know why this popped in my head, do you have cryptids in the area you live? Like, for example, like for me,
Crypt
like
lords?
no cryptids like Loch Ness Monster's a cryptid. In where I live, we have HoTS, which is like the Lake Tahoe version of like the Loch Ness Monster. Do you have like a cryptid
like
or like
a right?
Yeah, like
Chupacabra,
creepy things. Yeah. Do you have that in your town? Lore where you live?
Not that I know of. No.
Okay. Because I remember when I first moved up here, people were like, "Oh, you know about HoTS, right?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, it's our version of the Loch Ness." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Okay, that makes sense. Like, we're the second deepest natural lake in the United States. It's a gigantic lake as well."
How deep is it?
I want to say it's
How deep is your lake?
1,500 or so.
1,500 feet, meters, yards,
I think
miles.
it's feet. I know Crater Lake. I think Crater Lake is the bigger.
1,500 feet.
I think is the depth of Lake Tahoe. So second.
Have you dove in it? I know you've done scuba diving. Have you
no,
dived in it?
No, it's so cold. It's like even peak summer, the lake is still like 50 degrees. It's very, very, very cold.
Just wear a dry suit.
Oh, yeah. That's. I've never gotten to do that. I want to try a dry suit one day, but it's very, very difficult. We'll continue talking about cryptids throughout the day, or crypt lords potentially, but let's talk about where we're going to for map number 3 in our series today. I'm excited about this one because it's going to be Storm Esports taking us to Battlefield of Eternity. So we'll continue the Diablo map motif here, getting ready for Battlefield. We could see the Sergeant Hammer again. Like there's a lot of things that could be repeated from the last game going into this, but I wonder, Grubby, does Chili Mountain or Storm, do they have to innovate here pretty big for this map, or do we really have to, like, can they still kind of draft within the realm that they've already been doing in this series?
Yeah, let's check it one by one. What has Storm liked so far? Blaze, Chromie, Rehgar, Lucio, Diablo. Are those okay here? It's fine. It's fine. Valstad, not so much. So I do think Storm has to deviate a little bit from what they had been showing so far. They cannot play full macro, Valstad side pressure play. But I think Blaze, Diablo, Chromie are still fine on the map. You just need one DPS that doesn't focus as much on macro play, but a little bit more on single target damage of the Immortal. Unless you put yourself the challenge of entirely seeking the team fight, taking care of enemy heroes first, I mean,
Okay.
the enemy can't race you in a marathon if you break their legs. So,
That's a way to approach it, but you I mean, it is technically true. Yeah, absolutely.
I just looked
So-
up your cryptid question,
Yes.
and apparently in the Netherlands, the only mythical creatures are all some form of humanoid. So human, boogeyman,
Yeti?
male boogeyman, women boogeyman, but no animalistic boogeymans that I could see. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You don't have any sort of like abominable snowman or like in Transylvania of Dracula and everything like that. But either way, we're getting set up for our lobby here. We're just waiting on a couple more lobby members, and then we're gonna get going into Battlefield of Eternity. I'm excited about this one because I want to see. Infernal Shrines has got a lot of macro in the sense of you want to make rotations, you make ganks in the top lane, as we saw. Camp timing is very important. But Battlefield, it's a 2-lane map, of course. I feel like there's more focus on the micro, the team fighting. There is macro factors, grabbing the camp, making rotations, blah, blah, blah. But the team fighting, the infighting, that is the thing that I'm really, really excited about is we're getting the readies from these teams, and we're going to get going into our draft for map number 3, Grubby.
Let's get into it. Battlefield of Eternity coming up. Ultralisk. Ultralisk now part of the Chili Mountain draft. He's 0-1 in this series so far. Who was playing for him in game 1?
Dequaza? Dequaza, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
So, if Chili Mountain loses Battlefield of Eternity, it's obviously the Ultralisk needs to be replaced, and Dequaza has to come back in. But I also think that there was a little bit of a draft blunder there from the side of Chili Mountain. I think they kind of. Like, if Justin was here, I'm sure he'd be able to elaborate on this further, and hopefully we can get it back in the future and we'll ask him this question. But I feel like Chili Mountain had a pretty telegraphed draft in what they planned to do with that last pick. The Mephisto felt like it wasn't a flex, but it was like, this is the intention. Right. We're going for this. And Storm Esports taking that away. The Hanzo wasn't bad by any means, but I just don't think it was the damage they were looking for. I think that Chili Mountain need that explosive value from a mage. I would have rather seen Chili Mountain go Kael'thas and grab regeneration globes at level 1 and get your arcane barrier up. That also gives you a little bit of a shield. You could go Jaina and you can go Fingers of Frost. That's increased damage when you get to the 20 regeneration globes with her as well. I think there's even Orphea. Like, I think Orphea is one of the. She's very, very good for Infernal Shrines. So I just felt like a little bit of a draft blunder. Maybe that wasn't something in the repertoire for Ultralisk, but we're here into Battlefield of Eternity, Grubby, and we're ready to break things down for everyone at home in map number 3 in the Gauntlet bracket.
Yeah, I think you called it. Maybe they should have taken Mephisto and Alex together. Yeah. Unlikely that Chen had to be shown that early. They wanted to hide Mephisto, and I think you're right that Storm anticipated that. So, yeah, they were meant to have a non-stop spited Mephisto with Alex, most likely. And, well, they're going to ban away Lucio. They really felt like... I guess that proves it. Is June MVP from Game 2? Yes.
Yes.
The Lucio ban. Yep.
There we go. We've nailed it right there. That's all the analysis we're going to be doing. We're going to sit back, eat some popcorn, and watch this draft unfold as Brightwing will be banned out. We're going to be seeing a myriad of... we're going to be seeing a lot of different support bans.
Plethora of healer bans.
But I wonder if that motif continues, or if this is the point where we get into like the Junkrat ban and Sylvanas, or I don't know.
I don't know about you, but I'm rocking to this music. This is insane.
I have to stop myself from like trying to bop on stream constantly because I want to all the time, and I'm just like no, I have to sit still. So does this mean that Chili Mountain's looking at a Diablo?
Oh yeah, Diablo first pick even. Yeah, I think you might be right, but it could also be Ultralisk generally likes to play melee. Is he gonna go like Imperious? Not Kerrigan, certainly not Kerrigan, but Imperious is pretty good here, and Garrosh is the counter to all things melee.
Even like Thrall could work here very well as well, and yeah, the Garrosh. So okay, so I think Chili Mountain's building a dive composition, and that's what the Garrosh kind of shows with the Blaze, or the Garrosh band shows, but also Blaze being picked up here kind of alludes that. But Blaze at not level 1, at the 1 slot doesn't give away any of the draft. He's strong all through. He could be the solo, could be the main tank. We'll find out here as the draft does unfold, but 2 more picks for the side of Storm Esports. I wonder if they grab the Diablo. Chromie Diablo, there it is. CPX gets on a comfort. Brandon looked great yesterday on the Diablo.
Yeah, they're recreating the draft again. It's a reunion. It's a high school reunion. So that leaves, let's see, most likely a Rhaegar. It could be Kharazim from June, but probably a Rhaegar or Anduin. That's just, we're putting a pin in that.
Yeah.
So what does Chili Mountain want now? Is it the dive? Yeah, there we go. That's 3 melee. Now the Garrosh band makes sense, right?
Yeah, even then too, like Decimate is great into all these melees as well. Like Blaze has a little bit of range, but still Garrosh can close that gap. I'm liking the draft from both sides right now as we take a look at our bans. Storm Esports could look to choke out a healer here, make sure that the Chili Mountain can't get like the Anduin again. I think getting rid of Anduin is just a good call, just because his pulls. Oh, wow.
I don't think you want Anduin here. You've got 3 divers. You want someone like
That's
Lucio
fair.
or Kharazim that just surfboards the team into the opponent. So that seems like a really good ban. And because Banana H was probably going to be Kharazim, he's also known to play it, known to like it. And even Ultralisk, of course Ultralisk can play range. He may just go Hanzo again. It actually makes the most sense. But that's 3 melee and maybe even 4 or 5. It's them that's going to remove Anduin because they don't want to... First of all, they don't want to mess up their engage because of a leap of faith. Secondly, melee are vulnerable to light bomb. They want to just pile on and everybody get in here. And so that Anduin removal will put June on what? Rhaegar? Rhaegar's still fine here.
The Rhaegar would be a great pickup. Gives a cleanse over to the team as well. You could look at Purge, but the thing we didn't talk about at all, Junkrat is available. I don't think we see a Medivh here, mostly because this team needs a solo laner, and this is probably this is not that that's not that good of a map for Medivh. Last 2 picks though for the side of Chili Mountain. They need a healer here. Will it be something aggressive? Will it be something playing from the back?
White Mane. No, it can't be White Mane.
Really? Okay.
I think she's too vulnerable to Junkrat and Chromie here. Maybe not Morales either. Okay, Deckard. Yeah, Deckard. That's 5 melee basically, as far as I'm concerned, from Chili Mountain.
Deckard has a stun. Deckard also has the the level 13, the Ancient Blessings, right? So Ancient Blessings on Greymane, Muradin, Thrall, Blaze. That's great, actually. That's really, really good. Also keep in mind, Emerald at level 4 is a 75 healing reduction. I don't know the time on it, but Ancestral does have a wind-up of visual, so Deckard could look for Emerald to deny. Oh my god! I know one person specifically in the Heroes of Storm community is very, very excited about this, and all I can say is I hope... Oh, I guess it's 2 then.
Yeah, just exactly 2, no more.
Exactly 2. But I hope, for the sake of you and Crushinator, that this is going to be an amateur opponent, Artanis, unlike a couple weeks ago when we did get the dings on Battlefield. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, amateur opponent is the best Artanis talent at level 1 on pretty much any map, not just this map. And if you're not taking amateur opponent, you should be taking block charges. But I think the reason we're seeing Artanis here, and it's actually really good here, like unironically, I think this was a fantastic pick. I was thinking about what they were going to go for. Do you take Hager here? You know, Hager, he's best into spell damage. Because when you turn on the level 13 spin, everyone is going to get half damage from that spin in their spell damage. But not that good into auto attackers. Vulnerable to Greymane auto attacks, vulnerable to Thrall auto attacks. It's risky in general, but this is so smart. You're going to get suppression pulse. You're going to just make that ramping up aggression just flatline with a suppression pulse. No damage from Thrall, no damage from Greymane. Muradin relies on auto attacks. Let's jump into the game. It is amateur opponent, boys.
Oh, we did it. We've done it. We did it. Finally. But let's go ahead and introduce these teams, and we'll talk more about Artanis, only Artanis. Chili Mountain on the blue side, Make on the Thrall, Skoog on the Blaze, Ultralisk on the Greymane, Masquerade on the Muradin, and Banana on the Deckard Cain, excuse me. Storm Esports on the right-hand side, Brandon on the Diablo, Maka on the Junkrat, Nasmus to play the Artanis, CPX on the Chromie, and June on the Rhaegar. Man, this is a close one for me to call, Grubby, but I feel like you kind of just explained the big X factor, which is going to be Artanis with the suppression pulse at level 10, because all those melees, they're going to want to go in, get the Ancient Blessings at level 13, and just auto-attack through an enemy. But if you can't deal the damage with your Greymane Thrall, then what are you really even doing? So the Suppression Pulse, I think, might be the counteraction. But until then, I feel like Chili Mountain, they could just kind of run down Storm Esports in the early game.
Yeah, they will try to do so. Before level 10, Artanis comes out. They've got strong push power. I like that Storm is not leaving Artanis to solo lane. Artanis neither clears wave as fast, nor is he as anti-gank, let's say, protected. So putting Junkrat there actually gives Storm a strong 2v1, a lot more defensive. Had Chili Mountain tried to cheese stop, tried to kill the Artanis, and they're gonna take the camp. And meanwhile, Romy, as we know, is a good goalie, a goalkeeper. Able to defend, kill waves from a safe distance, and Diablo Rhaegar are there for support. But this is a good laning setup by Storm, and Chili Mountain has not done anything too inspired yet. Taking the Khazra camp, but soon they will start losing towers top, and they must respond to it. And they are. Brawl and Muradin are heading top. Masquerade and Maka looking to get a kill on somebody.
Nasmus is just kind of floating around in front of the gate. I wonder if he's going to look for a dash swap. There's going to be Decker Kane targeted by Brandon, and Banana seems like he's actually... Okay, that's Soul Shield procced by Brandon. Ultralisk goes in. June goes in for the bite as well. A lot of good potions on the ground that allow Ultralisk to get healed up to nearly full. Thrall going back into the top lane up against the Blaze Artanis. Skoog is getting very low. Thrall is here. Concussion Mine does get Junkrat into a safer spot on the map, and Nasmus backs away as well. Good play from both sides so far as Brandon once again looking for the initiation onto Banana. It just uses the minion to shadow charge back into a safer position by the fort front gate.
Curious to see which Artanis level 4 it's going to be. Is it going to be the big shield, the Orphan shield, or the armor swap? It's going to be the Orphan shield, shield battery.
You have the passive reduce the shield overload cooldown by 4 seconds, but also the cooldown recharges 125% faster while the shield is active. So one of those things that just allows Artanis to do the Artanis thing, which... I remember when I first started playing Here's the Storm and I was playing against Artanis, it would just feel like, it's like, how do you even kill this hero? It's like three of us are trying. Yeah. Like it was just like, it was like awful. It was awful to play against that, but now he's a battlefield monster and that's about it in some situations. Good cleanse from June, and that's the end of that initiation.
Well, let's put it this way. He was way tankier, but he had much worse crowd control interactions. He was CC'd better, and he couldn't CC as well. So in a way he's better now, but he was so tanky when he was released. So that's a kill on Diablo. Nice job at Chili Mountain. They've got amazing race as well. It is good race for Storm, but they came here to defend, and it did not work out.
Jet propulsion onto the Junkrat doesn't trigger the concussion mine. Actually, it is right there just to get onto a safer side of the top lane. Greymane over here on the left is going to be working on the Immortal immediately. Did lose his Inner Beast, but he's got it active right now. 50 physical armor, 10 spell armor, and he is just chunking as this Worgen. We will see first objective. Now, where does it go? Bottom or top? It always goes to the more well-defended lane, lane with more HP, and that's going to be the top lane. And we'll see what Alarian's able to do as he deals 1,044 damage into structures and has a shield of quite a bit. I'm just watching his health bar just skyrocket right now. Health-wise, about 13,000. Shielding is going to be another 8,000 on top of that.
That's quite a lot. Gonna push with that. Chromie's gonna pepper it from afar. 20,000 points of health left on that thing. Now about 15,000. That's gonna be the front gate for sure. Probably about 10-20% on the fort also. Meanwhile, what's happening in bot lane? Nazmas against Skog, nothing much going on. Oh, wait, how did he get there?
Great concussion mine from Maka, who almost gets the kill, but the tower shots aren't enough, and Nasmus is the one who should fall in bottom lane. Skoog with the body blocking. Actually, no, Nasmus is fine. It's two kind of scary situations for these teams, but no one to fall.
Solarite Reaper?
Yeah.
That's a macro choice. That's a macro talent. So not going for the slow swap. That gives him attack speed, therefore more damage, therefore more shields. And not going for the, let's say, the follow-through that basically adds a little
final
bit
cut.
Yeah, that extra burst damage on every Twin Blades and post-swap, post-psionic synergy. Solarite Reaper makes his return dash do as much damage as the initial dash. And this is best for wave clear. So that's just him looking to macro away a wave and then join the team fight quicker.
Fight breaks out. Brandon looking a little dead on that Diablo. That's another kill to the side of Chili Mountain. Actually, I believe that is 2 kills specifically into Brandon. We have Chili Mountain really trying to pressure this Diablo. Also, CPX almost gets the kill onto Skoog, but he's got the heals. It's a lot of narrow moments for Storm Esports, and Chili Mountain pulling ahead ever so slightly in every engagement.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a pre-10 thing that's to be expected. Yo, that was sick. Artana swap into trap. Artana's kill.
All right, June and friends, they want to chase more. Diablo's back. Artanis, he does have some blade. A swap, a sidestep by Masquerade. Okay, all right. Objective phase is up. Will this be the first one for the side of Storm Esports, as we are in our, I believe, second objective phase of the game?
7 years of HoTS, and I don't know if I've ever seen an Artana swap directly into a trap.
I like that
cool.
play. Ooh, bottom. Blaze might not be able to get out of this. He jet propulsions into Diablo. Concussion Mine. Skoog is split. There should be a Shadow Charge. There's the Overpower. But now the rotation from Chili Mountain will be had. That's a root onto Diablo as well. Steel Trap or Chattering Teeth are chasing out. Diablo getting low.
Whoa.
Shadow charges onto Masquerade, who's inside that Slowing Sands. Stuck for a little too long. Masquerade bopped around as well. Big swap from the Artanis, and it's not enough for a kill once again.
Not enough yet. They got level 10, which may have played a part as well. Meanwhile, Ultralisk is doing Ultralisk things. We've seen this a lot from Dino from time to time. He's actually gonna do. He's gonna do the blind just to save the fort. Worth it. How much HP does that fort still have? 4.6k. Yeah, so that blind saves the 4.6k fort. I think it would have died if he hadn't.
Also, it's a 50-second cooldown for 40 mana is not that bad either. It's already down to 30 seconds on the cooldown for it, so I think Artanis made the right call with that one. We'll have 10s apiece. We do have Earthquake from the Thrall, a lot more control, so no Sundering. I like this Earthquake actually quite a bit. It's going to pair well into the Stay a While and Listen. Cursed Bullet value is going to be lined up a lot easier as well. And then at level 20, you have the Earth and Shield for allies as well, which is just more fighting advantage to Chili Mountain. And might be a way for Chili Mountain to also just counteract the sustainability of the Ancestral Healing with the Farseer's Blessing post 20. Also, Decker Kane did go Emerald at 4, so that's healing reduction by 75% for 4 seconds.
See, Masquerade jumps in on Brandon. Brandon has often felt like an island. It's tough for him against that many melee. That's a good Ancestral. He's alive, but where's the rest of the team? And Blind had already been used. Every single time, it's like 5v1 against Diablo, and they really need Junkrat Chromie there. But Junkrat was on the side lane. They get a return kill though on Blaze before he could even use Bunker.
Blaze is going to be dead. Masquerade looking to kill Nasmus. Pops the Avatar. Good concussion mine. Actually, that was a concussion.
Nasmus!
That was a good concussion mine. I thought that was going to kill Nasmus, but now Banana's being chased down. I don't think the old man is going to be able to back away from June. Oh, the wolf is hungry.
Dude.
June finds the kill. Actually, it's Junkrat who steals the kill, but still, well played from Storm Esports. Nasmus, whew, Nasmus popping off in that moment.
Yeah, that's insane. He was meant to die, and he said no, like Neo in the Matrix, and he turned the bullets back on Agent Smith, and he got the kill there as well. Fantastic defense by Storm. Now they're actually gonna win an Immortal for once. Gonna get about 50% bonus health. It goes bottom. Now CPX is low. They want the globes. It could be a play for Chili Mountain to try and conquer the globes and do a fight, but no, they're not.
Oh, this is perfect, Grubby. I have to read the stat. Belith, the hell-based immortal, will deal 666 standard damage. How perfect is that?
It is very nice. It's perfect.
Into structures,
intentional,
though.
question mark.
In structures, 1,332, and he's got
5-2
25,000 points with the shield and health. About 18,000 just on the health bar, so the rest is just shielding. So until the Immortal loses that shield, he'll attack from range. That's why you see that kind of reddish glow around him. And now that Belith lost the shield, he'll move into melee range, auto-attack the fort. Now Masquerade, he's going to be split by the Concussion Mine. There's going to be a Riptire, Scroll, a Ceiling, a lot to be used. Great Riptire. If this is post-level 20, Junkrat would have another Riptire if he did go into extra oomph, but not the case yet. We have 13 advantage. First fort to fall in favor for Storm Esports. I'm surprised by the words I'm even saying. I thought Chili Mountain would take first fort with the aggression they've had thus far.
I think that was a fair assumption to have, Bahamut, but Storm has managed to turn fortune back into their favor. And it's all thanks to one long-faced man, Artanis. Well, It's the whole team. Artanis didn't grief.
I was like, dang, Grubby's an Artanis main all of a sudden. He's being convinced by this game.
No, I've been Artanis main for a long time. So yeah, I'm a little biased. I like to see him. It's Q build at 13 all the way through because you can actually go for Q at 7 for Artanis and not take it at 13, but he's gone for it. That's more shield resets from dashes.
Okay.
And that's also cheaper manacles for Blade Dash. And he's going to get... oh, actually, it's more Blade Dashes. And Blade Dash is shield reset. Yeah, so it's just a lot of shit. Oh, all that thought. Perch on Chromie. That was a jet propulsion. Combo here on Thrall. Thrall actually got flipped a lot. He's trying to get into that bunker. It took so long for him to get in because of all the CC and the swaps and whatnot. There's the second engage on Chromie. First time Purge, now Ancestral. He will fall finally, but it took a lot.
And Greymane's just autoing for free over the far side of the wall. I'm actually loving that, but it's a Thrall for Chromie trade, and the fort in top lane will be fine. Masquerade's avatar will expire fairly soon, if I'm not mistaken. Diablo will be caught out by the Scroll of Sealing. That's a swap onto the Greymane, who gets split by the Concussion Mine. I think Brandon might fall here on the bottom of our screen.
Yeah, he's like any teammates. He was just left behind. But he's got 75 armor again. There's the Emerald. He's running away, but the Pyromania takes him out. I mean, my God, they were bullying Diablo for so long.
Oh, yeah. And this is, even with the blinds, I don't see... Yeah, that's going to be Artanis dying right there. CPX will try and make something happen, but needs to back away. The Stormbolt connecting. I thought June might go down, but those kills are going to be huge for Chili Mountain. They should get the first half of the Immortal, and we should see a contestation from Storm Esports in the second portion.
Yeah, that was very well done by Chili Mountain. Murden Blaze really had to work for it, that kill on Diablo. He kept getting Soul Shield back, kept getting healing from his Fire Stomp, but eventually they got him. And good defense by the rest to defend against Junkrat, Chromie, and Rhaegar, whatever they were doing up there, because we were looking at the Dibbles. Now is the final 50%. They're vibing hard on it. They're partially in Slowing Sands. There's the Deckard Sleep. Gets the Diablo, the dieback.
That was really well played from Chili Mountain with the stay a while and listen. I thought Chili Mountain was going to lose a member or two because Ultralisk and Make were getting chunked so much. I thought CPX might be able to get some sort of artillery damage or kill, but it doesn't work out. Now Chili Mountain with 8-5 in kills and the 16 talent tier advantage will be pushing into the top lane. Actually, as the Immortal pushes into bottom, I'd like this split attention. Masquerade is absolutely getting shredded, but not enough to the point where he's dead. He's just cut up a little bit. He'll get his healing. He'll get his trait to kick in. He's got the avatar. And now, bottom lane fort will fall. Top lane fort should as well.
It's interesting they're defending a 4,000 HP fort, 4v4, instead of the Immortal in the bottom lane. But I guess there's something to be said for it. It's a 4v4 defense. Artanis just left. He can blind, and he does.
Diablo popped the Lightning Breath and then immediately canceled it, which was interesting as a play for me. Curse Bullet, Dark Flight, almost a kill on Damaka. The Immortal's still pushing bottom lane as Artanis is trying to clear that out. Blaze is now with his allies. It's 5v4 in the push. Masquerade looking for that Bad Benny type deep flank.
It's time to give up the fort here, Storm. It's 4v5. There is no blind from across the map. They're just
and this is where you don't want to be
here for a fight. Yeah, Chromie has no mana. Fort was already gone. I must say, I don't get it. They should have left 10 seconds ago.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Really good Stormbolt from Masquerade that interrupts the channel because Riptire is a channel ability, so Stormbolt interrupted that, which means that Chromie was a guaranteed kill because the Riptire would have maybe given her some room to get away, some wiggle room. Greymane does die, but Diablo and Chromie to fall. 54 souls for the Diablo. The Immortal gets the, I believe, the keep front gate and some autos on the keep in bottom lane. Chili Mountain looking to freeze out Storm Esports in map number 3. Pretty well.
Yeah, it's well done by Chili Mountain. Ultimately, though, it's a no-risk fight. 5v4 against 0 mana Chromie. Artanis missing, no blind. Fort has 1% life left. This was a mistake by Storm. They won't pay the capital price yet. They still have 2 keeps. It's fine. They're only a level down. But it certainly wasn't helpful. Now, for Chili Mountain, that was good news. They needed that. They would get gapped quite a bit by Chromie slowing Sands if they're constantly having 5-on-5, so they were able to make the best out of it. Now Masquerade with a big flank. I feel like Mokka felt that. You see how he was moving jittery?
And as the seasons progress, this corridor or that bush over there has been a very common place for a lot of tanks to be sitting and anchoring for the allies for any sort of flanks. I mean, Bad Benny, as we've talked about in the past, he's been really known for his deep flanks throughout this season. Deeper, like he's coming from like the fort range on the enemy side sort of deep flank. I'm liking that playstyle. It kind of shows through a few of the teams, but Nasmus clears out the top lane, 10-6 in kills, 18-17 in our levels, and we'll have our next Immortal spawning in the north-south positioning with the Immortal for Chili Mountain to race on the bottom portion, but Chili Mountain may be stepping up for a fight.
6 deaths for Diablo already. He's been bullied with that cursed bullet, with everyone just jumping on top of him. He survives this time thanks to Ancestral. Fire Stomp, he's thinking of going back in. That's probably a mistake. Sure? Yeah, that was a very likely a mistake. Stepping up again after everything had been used to save him. I'm not sure what he was trying to enable. Perhaps that's slowing sand, hoping that he can get enough healing from the Fire Stomp, but it was not the case.
So, Masquerade continuing to pressure and zone back Nasmus with Skoog, Make, Ultralisk, and Banana working on Belith on the bottom portion. This will be the first 50%. We do have the Artanis trying to find some sort of value. Masquerade, though, he's found June. Concussion Mine saves June for now.
Mokai's been playing really well on Junkrat. Good concussive.
I think Ultralisk has been doing great on the Greymane. Yeah, he died in that last engagement, but he still has so much value for his team. The Curse Bullets have been on point, as well as just his split pressure and Worgen form in the lanes. Nasmus drops the blind, but I don't think that will stop the members of Chili Mountain from another Immortal. I believe, if my math is correct, this is the 4th Immortal of the game in totality. 3rd one for the side of Chili Mountain, and this one is dealing 1,788 damage into structures with a total. It's got a health pool of 25,000. With shielding, that number jumps all the way to 47,000.
Oh, you can see it when it's still in the center.
He's a big
boy.
He's a big sieger here, and we'll see if Alarian is going to be able to open things up beyond just the Keep front gate. I expect to Keep to fall. Chili Mountain, if they can find a kill or two, they could look for lethal and get the advantage in the series.
46,000 health, it's down to 39,000. Ultralisk has Hunter's Blunderbuss. He can use auto attacks and cleave in a large line behind the initial target. Even now, he'll be hitting Artanis. If he hits the fort, he's going to be hitting Rhaegar, which means there'll be a retargeting towards him, but Brawl and Blaze are intentionally taking it for him sometimes, so he doesn't drop too low. Brandon is looking for opportunity on Ultralisk, who keeps getting the fort aggro because of that mechanic. Diablo steps inside the triangle. Artanis lives. There's a big sleep. Diablo challenges Greymane. That's probably not wise. I think Brandon may just die again, but that was a really good Riptire to stop the engage on Diablo. Now, will they go for Core? Core is going to take some damage. Wow, big hits by CPX. They're going for Deckard. Is everyone on the same page, though? Diablo's fighting somewhere on the left side. Good swaps by Artanis, good Qs by Artanis. Nearly gets Greymane, but Diablo is not on point with the rest of the team, and he gets run down again by 2 melees.
Surprisingly, even with all 5 members up, I know mana bars are a little bit low, health bars are a little bit low too, but surprised that Chili Mountain, they're backing away at all. Actually, no, okay, this makes sense. Okay, they were backing up to push up their wave. I thought they were full disengaging. That's Chromie, though, chunking into Skoog, and it's making it seem not that interesting of a core end. We still have 38 seconds on Diablo, 30-some seconds on the Artanis. Masquerade getting chunked by Maka and... Whoa! See, that's, I think, what Chili Mountain was constantly backing up for. They were like, I don't know if we can end. They were doing the uncertain end dance, as I like to call it.
Yep, exactly. I thought they were backing off to drink like 10 energy drinks or so from Deckard, but they only drank like 2, and that's just not enough to rave all night. So yeah, they managed to come back with 60% life, and CPX gladly shot him down from afar. That was a CPX save. Very nice. Targeting there, taking down Deckard. And that's even gonna have Deckard dead for 3 seconds as the Immortals descend to Earth.
This is still really good for Chili Mountain, honestly. They don't have any periodic pressure to the constant catapults that are going to be in the top lane since the fort is still up and available. And Chili Mountain, they recognize the enemy has a lot of good control for this camp. It's not worth trying to die over, especially with Decker Kane about to respawn. So Chili Mountain, they clear things out in lane. They'll probably lose the first half of the Immortal and then look for the team fight in the second section.
Diablo needs 5 minions. He's at 95 souls. Whether he revives or not could be the difference between winning and losing. He's also picked up Lord of Terror. This allows him to lifesteal from nearby enemy heroes. This is a really good choice into 4-5 melee. So I like that choice. Even though Bolt is good, Hellgate is good, this might just be correct here because he's been getting absolutely mobbed, and that may buy enough time. Defense in the top lane, even as Storm Esports is defending their Immortal, the best chance Storm has had in the last 10 minutes or so. Chili Mountain, how do they get back into this? Easy and steady as it goes. A little bit of side lane pressure. Build up some macro advantage. They're up 2 structures. A fourth and a keep. Just going to defend this while pushing out bot wave, which they have advantageous position on. The burden is on Storm to either attack top fort while defending their Immortal. I would like that actually, if they just start attacking top fort.
Storm wants something here. They think that the Greymane in the bottom lane is too greedy, but Storm can't even step in, it seems. Masquerade drops a little bit low. Skoog lands a big jet propulsion. Cleanse from June. Not sure if it was needed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was just flexing his cleanse, showing he can cleanse the CC, but it wasn't really relevant. But now there's no cleanse. The Mountain knows it. Double engage on Artanis. He has a blind. Ancestral. Does a swap. There's the second Ancestral.
The first one got eaten as there was the Decker Kane level 4. That's going to be Brandon getting chunked quite heavily. Goes for the Shadow Charge onto Masquerade. Masquerade lands a massive Stormbolt into the enemy. Masquerade now wants to pressure onto CPX with the swap from Artanis coming out in the back line. Brandon low. The keep in bottom lane is gone. That's the Chromie to go down. Masquerade setting up that kill. Brandon going to hearth back for full HP. Maka? I'm a little afraid for him with no kind of backup right now.
Yeah.
Looking to poke out, but still. The dwarf launch and everything can close the gap very quickly. And okay, there's Maka. Oh, actually, he's not okay. He should go down right here.
He's not okay at all. He concussive the wrong way. Nazma's trying to get away there. Does a blind, quite just an excessiveness of safety. Bottom keep went down, by the way, during all that. So that's what Ultralisk on Greymane built up in the bottom lane. We're looking at a very bad situation for Storm. Chili Mountain has done things right. They recognized, hey, cleanse is gone. It was wasted, but it was gone. That's what mattered. And you had a lot of pressure on CPX there. Looks like Chili Mountain's going to win, probably.
Storm is trying to race this down against the enemy, but they won't be able to finish it out. Make and Ultralisk able to do that right there. Now, Blaze, he's looking to head off the enemy, slow them down, get the dismount. Decker Kane, he's got Stay Well and Listen with the upgrade level 20, Respect the Elderly. Diablo, little split from his team. Here comes Artanis. There's that Lord of Terror. That's good damage onto June, who pops the Ancestor Healing, bunker down from the Blaze, and here comes the Immortal. That was actually pretty big for the side of Chili Mountain. They got Blind and they got Ancestor Healing out while utilizing, I believe, Curse Bullet and Bunker. Still have the Earthen Shields. Look at Brandon's flank, though. Big flank.
He's gotta do something here. They cannot let this Immortal go to core. The Immortal still has 33k health. In comes a Riptire. It's going to hit 4 members. Chromie trying to pepper as well. Chromie now makes a decision to turn around and start defending the Immortal. They use Diablo's initial life to buy time. That's quite smart, but this Immortal is going to do 20% by itself. Chili Mountain only needs to do the other 60% on core or so. They can, I think.
The Immortal gets like 49% off the core as the fight continues around this bottom lane. Chili Mountain looking like they want to back away. They're going to respect CPX on his damage. Swap onto Skoog. I think the Blaze should be dead here. And so slowly the members of Chili Mountain are winning this game. But with that kill, is this the chase that Storm needs to be able to, well, turn things around? Doesn't seem like they're going to get it.
There's 2 catapults on core. It has to be defended. You could use blind, but it's not enough. So if Storm had any delusions that they could go straight to core, those 2 catapults end those dreams right here. In fact, those catapults, despite being actively defended against, took another 7% health off the core.
Nicely played so far from Chili Mountain in the long game for Battlefield of Eternity. It is one of those maps that it's not common for I feel like it to go 26 minutes, but in intense moments like this where players are really trying to make sure that they don't overextend, stay too long, or make a wrong call on the core, it makes sense that it's going to 26 minutes at this point. I feel like Chili Mountain, if they were super aggressive, they could have ended the first time, but CPX was, I think, a little too scary with the piercing value. But here comes the fight in top.
And Ancestral was used in a essentially 4v5. This is unfortunate. Brandon's been getting caught quite a bit. He's almost at double-digit deaths. He's at 9. Of course, he is the focus target, so you gotta say, hey, that's the draft purpose for Chili Mountain with Cursed Bullets. There's a Lightning Breath. He interrupts it to get the Shadow Charge on Blaze, who's really low. Bunker, Deckard goes down. Skog goes down right afterwards. That's double kill right when it mattered most. Wow. Storm Esports has bottom lane pushed out with the Khazra Impaler and the Catapult. They now get a free Immortal attack. Just when I thought all hope was lost, Bahamut. They do the incredible, the impossible. They get the double kill.
Wow.
What if they get 100% Immortal now? Is that enough to end on?
I mean, like, the Immortal would have 56,000 shielding plus the base health, I think is how it works out. So that would be absolutely insane. I don't like this here. I don't like this. Just race the Immortal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just race the Immortal. Don't worry about the camp.
This Immortal has more health than the one in lane, and then the shield is extra. Let's see. I think it's gonna have something like 60,000 health and shield all together. I think that's roughly where it's gonna be at, but we'll see it when we see it. They're not gonna greed for Bruiser Camp, are they? Question mark. Nah, they're not gonna go for Bruiser Camp. It's just gonna be the Immortal. So the Immortal has 34,000 base health, and is that double the shield?
So that's
68?
what I'm looking. Does it add in the 56,000 for the shielding? Because I think it does. Yeah, that number is really skyrocketing. It should be around. No, okay, so it's 69,000.
Very, very nice. That's a lot. Now they're just worried. Storm is worried about the back door.
Yeah.
Artanis and Junkrat were in position. They have no traps or time traps or anything like that checked. And now what Chili Mountain tries is to fight before Artanis is there, but he does have a blind. Where's the blind? The blind is almost too late.
There's the Ancestral with the Farseer's Blessing. Really good healing reduction from the Deckard Canis. Ultralist has to roll away, getting some shieldings from the level 20. Make getting cooked up by the Lightning Breath of Diablo. Make almost dead. Artanis comes in with the damage. Now, Blaze over on the right-hand side. He's looking to do something. I think he's just trying to create space as the Immortal slaps for 2,428 damage into structures. One spin. Let's see, one auto. It's dealing like a solid, like... It's like a sixth of the keep health per auto attack.
2.4k damage by an Immortal on buildings. It still has 25,000 health. Ultralisk is trying to defend against it. We might just see the core going down to 40% as well. Artanis, he's going straight for the core. A call has been made. Just hit the core, hit nothing else. Mocha and Nasmas are going for it. Storm Esports, I thought they were going to lose. They're going to do it. They're going to go for it. They've got the game. Game number 3 goes to Storm Esports. 2-1 lead in the best of 5 with Artanis.
Wow. Chat, rejoice. I peeked over at one point and there was someone in chat like, I just wanted one Artanis win this season. Well, you got it. You got your Artanis win. And obviously everyone now knows Artanis is meta. This is the build you take. This is the best build. This is the only build that you can take on Artanis. Right, Grubby?
Yep. It's the only build that has ever won in CCL for Artanis.
See? So it's obviously the best.
This may be like the 4th Artanis or so, but it's the first win if I'm not mistaken.
I know this is the second one in this season. I know that for sure. I'd have to go back and look through notes for previous season, but what a fantastic Battlefield of Eternity map. That was really, really, really good back and forth between these two teams. I am blown away by just the play. I think CPX was a little bit of an MVP in that one, as they were able to defend so well. Like that top lane core push, Chili Mountain was waffling. They were unsure. They were like, do we go in? Let's back up and get our wave. Now that we have the wave, we go in. And then CPX was just dropping in so much damage. 136,000 roughly, as I'm rounding up on his damage. Like I think CPX played that so very well for his team.
For sure, so did Maka. Using concussives to break up the engage every time was so good. But again, the unsung hero, June. 0 deaths, 0 feeds, never getting called out position. Zero Death as healer is so valuable. And then he's coming in with the heals, with the clutch ancestrals. He tried to keep Brandon alive, man. It's thanks to him, we're not double digits here. But I will say, as much as Brandon was a focus target, in that final moment, that was just chef's kiss. You had Chili Mountain trying to jump on top of Brandon like they had so many times. Lord of Terror came out, double ancestral, Artanis blind, he fire stomped, and then finally saved Lightning Breath for post bunker to cook the goose inside the bunker, and that's what got Thrall. It was a really cool moment there, as Artanis was still core defending, just kind of like, what if they backdoor after all? I'm just going to make sure I'm in bottom lane, make sure this wave isn't pushed up. Hey, he's got the global ult. Not talking about laser. Talking about that blind, and it's what kept Diablo alive. Super cool.
I honestly thought Diablo was dead during that engagement because I saw the Emerald from Deckard Cain applied to him with that 75 reduction. The Ancestral came out, but luckily for Diablo, the Farseer's Blessing value does come through, and we're going to get ready for our next matchup here, or next map, excuse me. It could be the final map for Chili Mountain in the season. I got to be honest, I said it at the top of show, and I was kind of like memeing a little bit, but I was like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be a 3-1, but it'll be Storm Esports. We're on that road. That could be our future, but I know for a fact that Chili Mountain, they're a team that plays extremely well under pressure, and these moments, they don't seem to phase Chili Mountain. I saw them during Master Clash playing up against Oxygen. Even in some of the most tenuous moments, Chili Mountain still was able to be level-headed and make very good plays. So I don't think the series is done by any means. I don't think Storm has it in the books, but I do think that Storm has the momentum, has the energy to take this series, but Chili Mountain might be rallying here as we get ready for our map number 4. Grubby, could you break down for everyone at home where we're going to be going to for map number 4 in our first best of 5 of the day?
We're going to a holo, which is actually a little bit, a teensy bit, cursed.
Oh no, get some sage.
It is cursed. We can fix this though. All you gotta do is find 3 tributes, and if you bring them back to me, I'll curse your opponents instead. So that should be good. So you get the 3 tributes, you shut down the enemy buildings, and suddenly things aren't that scary anymore. But there's one catch: opponent's gonna try to do the same thing.
Oh. Ew.
Now we're in a situation where Storm has a 2-1 score, but actually, when you consider how the games went, I want to say it could have been 2-1, it could have been 3-0. So Alterac was won by Chili Mountain, but Storm was massively in the lead, and they made 2 critical errors in a row at the end game.
Yeah, true.
Whereas this game was actually Chili Mountain just a stone's throw away from winning. I mean, you're walking away with several bodies alive against the 40% core. What does that mean? It means you failed your core all-in, basically. And it's not a clear-cut case, right? But you could have probably done it.
I definitely think that it was... The artillery from CPX was threatening enough that... And the piercing sand value was... I think that was the biggest thing... Because there was a lot of low health bars. A one-shot from CPX showcased that, Blaze died. He was around like 30% HP or so, maybe a little bit higher than that, and he got one-shot by the Chromie. I guess you could technically say he got triple-tapped in a sense by the Chromie, and going down right there. So CPX on the Chromie doing really well, and Cursed Hollow, I'm looking back actually at the draft. Cursed Hollow, Storm Esports could run a similar draft. They first picked the Chromie, Diablo, Rhaegar, Junkrat, Artanis. I could say we could get rid of the Artanis. Like, it was cool to see it on Battlefield, but like I'd like to see something more like a Hogger or even a Leoric. I think Nasmus's Leoric was fantastic earlier today on Infernal Shrines, but we'll have to see. We're getting players in the lobby for Cursed Hollow. There's a lot of really good moments here that we could have from both sides. I wonder what Chili Mountain does, because they are the team with their back against the wall. They are the higher seeded team, which is, they're supposed to be the gatekeeper, but Storm Esports are looking like the ones who are truly the final bosses in this ladder bracket so far.
Yeah, keep in mind, Chili Mountain is 4 wins in league play. Storm Esports only has 2 wins in league play.
By
Chili Mountain should be the favorite normally. Yeah.
By the stats, like, Storm Esports should be the one to lose in the series. But as we've got Justing with us right now, what's your thoughts, bud?
CPX should not be allowed to get Chromie so much, and I think that all this talk of sea life may have actually enraged the sharks that were potentially biting at the internet cables. I think we made them a little bit angry. We may have summoned some sharks, but it appears as though they've left for now. So happy to see that, and happy to see CPX Chromie being banned if Chili Mountain wants a chance to be able to mount their comeback in this series, because it's kind of insane to see how much CPX is able to get on the Chromie, and just at some point it needs to get banned, right? It feels too important and too impactful. Pretty much every time it's available, he's taking it, so not expecting to see Chromie get through with Chili Mountain's tournament life on the line.
It is going to be okay. I'm like, this is the ban where I'm just like sitting here waiting. I'm like, okay, are you gonna do it? Is Chili Mountain going to do this? They do have first pick priority. Storm Esports was the team that did choose this map as Chili Mountain, wanting that first pick priority. But it is it's gonna be something here. There it is, of course. Now, Justin, you've had a little bit of time before getting the cables put back together. Did you bring any bird facts for us today?
Birds can fly, and they have feathers.
Wonderful. Much appreciated. Okay, I was like, oh, with all this downtime, he's going to be able to bring us all these great facts. And thank you so much, Justin. But we're through our ban phase. We have things like Joanna, Diablo, and Nuber. There's so much available, Justin, and it's a Hogger first pick for the side of Chili Mountain. I can't disagree with this. It's a great pick overall.
The Rhaegar is something that's still available. We do have the support kind of choke coming out again with the Brightwing and the Lucio being banned away. The Haka, so they're going to prioritize their offlane. Ooh, and the Sergeant Hammer. Something that, with some teams, it's super high priority, and with some teams, it's completely unavoided. This game, we're going to have the Hammer picked up early. I can never really disagree with a Hammer pick at pretty much any point in the draft. It's something that completely shreds the front line, but is also very, very difficult to dive, so it's dangerous to opt into the Genji so early, trying to counter the Hammer that will likely be able to have enough defense to just hold her ground.
Genji in game 1 was really good. What are you thinking here, Grubby? I see you pondering these two drafts.
Genji, the only victory point so far for Chili Mountain, so not too bad to bring that back in. This time going to be played most likely by Ultralis, not Make. Make was 1 death, 48,000 hero damage with a number of important kills and escapes on Alterac. Game number 4, perhaps it shall bring glory to Chili Mountain. The Genji Hammer matchup, it's alright for Genji. He can go for the dodge talent at level 7 to dodge 1 auto attack. He cannot get interrupted out of deflect by her in particular. He can aim his X-Strike and his Shingun quite well into her. He can threaten her. But he's not someone that I would say can take down Hammer single-handedly. And Hammer is always going to get protection from Diablo and Anduin this time. There's one more pick coming through for CPX. It could be Medivh. Maybe that's crazy, but it could be. What do you think, Justin?
It'd be difficult, I think, to fit a Medivh into. Yeah. I mean, you could potentially play it on the side of Storm and just kind of really all in on your Hammer, but I think it's a lot to put on one hero to play the Medivh.
I wonder if this Anduin's actually a little bit of a steal, because Light Bomb Muradin, Light Bomb Genji, Light Bomb Hogger if he goes Hortapult, which I doubt, but still, Light Bomb would have been great with at least Genji Muradin. We did see that on Alterac Pass in map number 1, so I do think this is a little bit of a steal from the side of Storm Esports. We do get a Stukov, which is great. Cassie, a good poke. I do like what we have so far from the side of Chili Mountain, but the last pick for the side of Storm Esports, Justin, we've got you with us. Let's get your analysis, your breakdown, and your thoughts on these two drafts.
So something that's really strange here is we do see the last pick Maya to round out the composition for Storm. Just a lot of CC and a little bit more percent damage to be able to deal with the front line. And also it's not a squishy target for the Genji to be able to dive onto. So a good last pick. Hammer should be able to supplement the damage enough alongside the Maya to be able to, really threaten Chili Mountain, even threaten their front line or their back line. Something that's really important though for Chili Mountain is they've drafted the Genji and the Cassia, neither of which have any real meaningful percent damage. Cassia can get some at 16 if she goes the auto attack build, but we have seen quite a bit of Q from Cassia, so we'll be. I'm expecting it to be Q build, even though I think auto attack build might be a little bit just better here, as she is sort of the sustained damage in this comp. But you have a most likely nearly invincible frontline with the Haka and Diablo, and now even adding Maiev into the mix. It's not an easy frontline to break through for a Genji and a Cassia. They're very reliant on diving in. Stukov doesn't really contribute well to dives. He's going to be pretty far away from the team. And the damage reduction at 16 from Brandon playing the Diablo might be able to completely negate almost all of the damage coming out from Chili Mountain. So I expect if Storm is even or ahead at 16, that they'll continue it. Chili Mountain needs to get a lead before level 16s come in for Storm.
Well, thank you, Justin, for the analysis as always. Because on the left-hand side, we have the members of Chili Mountain in the blue, Skog on the Hogger, Masquerade playing the Muradin, Make on the Cassia, Banana on the Stukov, and Ultralisk on the Genji. Side of Storm Esports looking to close this series out and move up against Diamond Hands in the next best of 5. Well, Storm Esports, Maka on the Sergeant Hammer, Nazmus on the Dahaka, Brandon on the Diablo, CPX on the Maiev, and June on the Anduin. I believe that Storm Esports can do it here, Grubby, but I want to actually bring up one thing really quickly before I do get your thoughts, Grubby. Isn't it really nice to have Justin back to break things down? Like,
yeah.
Can I just say that? It's so nice to have him.
Thanks, internet gods, for giving him to us for a little bit more. As Dahaka gets massively attacked. He's got that spell armor, but 50 spell armor. Wow, that's that reminds us of what actually happened to him as Blaze on Alterac, the other game that was lost.
So we're both giggling here. You can't see it, chat, but Nazmus dies and just goes pog.
Yeah.
He does brush stock back into top lane, so I don't think he's losing out on much, if any, experience. What I do want to point out is that mid lane, Diablo did get some experience there, and there's really no one in mid lane right now. And Maiev is grabbing the camp on the right-hand side. There's a gank set up here, and I think June will go down. I don't see a world where they don't get June. Now, Ultralisk did... Okay, he's got the agility over the wall. The cyber agility gets him back over there. Maev's still working on the camp. She does have the Naisha's Memento at level 1, which is great for grabbing camps because of the bounce value.
That's, by the way, June's first death in 3 games.
GG's.
Wait.
How dare you, June?
Wait, this is game 4. Did he die in game 1? What was he?
Don't remember. I think it was Rhaegar in game 1, right?
It's the first death in 3 games. I don't know about game 1. That's all. Yeah, so he had 0 death the last 2 games. So nice capture there by Chili Mountain. They have 2 kills already. Good job for them. Overall, I do think Storm's draft is better, but Chili Mountain has to make the plays, and so far they are. Now, we have seen something like 10-15 games of Hammer in CCL. She was like 10-0 at some point, or 9-0. Very strong hero, very hard to deal with. And I've always said Stukov and Leo are my number 2 fears when I play Hammer. Not what everyone else thinks, Chromie Li Ming, but I always think it's Stukov and Leoric, as Hammer falls once again to Genji this time in the bottom lane. Genji, Murden, and Hager. Chili Mountain's just popping off. So this is the first time in CCL that I remember that Stukov is on the other side of Hammer in probably like 13 games or so. So we're gonna see if that will work out, to put that lurking arm underneath her so that she can't hyper thrust her away, she can't armor, she can't concussive. All she can do is just press D. At least Blizzard allowed her that, right? She can unsiege, it's allowed. Unsiege and walk away. Anduin can help with that, of course, but like, yeah, that's actually breaking the silence rule that she can press D.
Yeah.
No other hero can do that.
That would have been funny. It's just like, oh, well, I'm lurking armed. I guess I'm not going anywhere. I do also like the biotic armor from the Stukov as well. See, what it allows him to do, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, because Sergeant Hammer will get picked off.
See?
This is such a good play from Chili Mountain. So lurking arm. He does have the low blow at level 1, so the increased damage to enemies below 50% HP, but the biotic armor allows him to be underneath the Hammer umbrella, the circle as you just saw, and he can apply that to himself, take auto attack damage, maybe even pop the pustule and get that, 75 armor, which is ridiculous, 50 armor for 2.5 seconds. And then he can tank a little extra damage. Also, I mean, against Maiev, Diablo, with these auto attacks, it is good for that, but I think there's a little extra layer for the reasoning picked up on that level 4, and I do like it quite a bit for the Stukov.
Yeah, it used to be 75 armor, now it's 50, just half damage. Pretty much enough to survive Hammer. Really good start by Chili Mountain. It looks like we might have a 5 mapper if this keeps up, gents.
I think we could be heading to map number 5. That's at least what I was expecting at the start of the series. I honestly expect 5 games from both these series today, but we'll see how things do unfold. Banana is going to be found in the bush. He does get hit with the Chastise. Murden with the Stormbolt. There's the Lurking Arm combo. Leap of Faith will pull Hammer back. She's got that Hover Siege from level 7, which is going to be a big way to just, float out of the Lurking Arm.
To hover, if you will.
Oh, yeah. To hover out of the... I completely missed my own opportunity. Hogger's in bottom lane. Feels like Storm might be able to get this.
Brandon steps up. It's risky. He gets bolted. Hogger Scope is going to get bottom tower number 1, working on number 2. Naz goes bot. I think Ultralist saw that, so they know that Daka is bottom lane. Daka can brush Stalker if he does it outside of range of Hager. Will he? I'm looking at Naz. Not yet.
Stukov with the channel right now. We have a solid level lead to the side of Chili Mountain with their 4-kill advantage. Brandon trying to delay this out, but he's not going to get the Fire Stomp out in time. Has to use the Shadow Charge onto Masquerade, who does Dwarf Toss in, getting that armor. So just utilizing that Dwarf Toss still to get the armor is big.
Nice double tribute for Chili Mountain. They're very close to level 10. Now, this is one of the less sure boss attempts that I've seen. Sometimes it's obvious you must take boss because of everyone's positioning. This was more of a hopeful boss, like throwing a fishing rod without bait and hoping that you're gonna catch a trout. It's probably not gonna happen. At least you gotta have some kind of bait or reason or extra information. But they tried and they disengaged and they didn't die. And Ball Lightning has come out, so good job by Storm. They're now so close to level 10 that I think they could actually give it a second crack.
Alright, the boss and bottom will be grabbed. This is Tribute or Curse Point for the side of Chili Mountain. The bounce ends, but it's actually just fine for Skoog. And yeah, Storm Esports, they're going to have to defend against the boss. If the enemy, Chili Mountain, can get this boss plus the curse, as we still scout this out, that would be huge for Chili Mountain to have a boss pushing plus a curse. We would see a fort and keep front gate at least to fall from that. But let's go ahead, take stock, and see what happens in this. Nasmus missing the drag.
This is 6 minutes 30 so far, and it looks like this could be like a 10-minute game if it keeps up.
Yeah.
Storm is standing here trying to defend the boss. Nasmas will do some damage on it, but that fort could be a goner as no one else can get in position.
Mid lane.
Bruiser camp is taken.
Yeah.
There's now an additional problem.
Masquerade with the flank. We have the Containment Disc onto the Cassia. Small Leap of Faith to pull Maka out. There's actually a Holy Word Salvation, the Lightning Breath used by Diablo. A little split on that one. Ball Lightning comes out from the Cassia, and Stukov goes down. We do have the Maiev to be traded, so it's a 1-for-1 healer for the melee assassin. But with Hammer and her Umbrella, I don't see... Oh, that's a great drag onto Cassia, and she's going to go down to Diablo. The bottom lane fort will fall, but Skoog is fine.
Maka is chasing after. He gets the thrusters attack. Ultralist trying to kill Maka for that. Masquerade, will he jump in or out?
Masquerade pops the avatar. He's able to back away. Maka with the siege mode activated. June going for the channel. Throws out a divine heal. Ultralisk with the angle to get another interrupt with the swift strike through the wall. Masquerade with a stormbolt, but it doesn't pierce through to June. And we do not see the curse, but a fort will fall in favor of Chili Mountain. The experience gap closed a little bit here. We did get some good siege from Chili Mountain as well through the mid lane from that Bruiser camp Grubby had noted about a minute and a half ago.
Yeah, double tower. Boss took bottom forward. Bruiser double tower. And meanwhile, top forward is sustaining some damage. Storm is having to put out fires everywhere. It's like SimCity at the hardest difficulty.
Oh god.
People are just never happy, man.
I remember that. I remember turning it up to the highest difficulty and being like, it can't be that hard, and then... It is.
Yeah, disasters everywhere.
It's just, yeah, that was, great. Good
I think
times.
that's when I gave up dreams to become like mayor or president or something. Like, no, I just rather play
SimCity.
games like...
Oh, isolation onto Dahaka. A little overlap with the containment disc, but that's okay. Still a silence afterwards. Umbral bind onto Skook. He's trying to back away. Gets the spin. 300 HP. Brandon wants the kill. Fan of Knives. There's a lightning breath. Ball lightning out from the Cassia. Holy Word Salvation. X-Strike from the Anduin coming through. Big lurking arm from the Stukov as well. And it seems like Storm Esports with the combo post level 10. They're in a comfortable spot. Brandon with a third of his HP goes in on Make, and that is a punish right there. But Make is going to go down. Ultralisk on this Genji is able to bop around, and Masquerade gets the curse for his team. With 2 dead on the side of Chili Mountain, Diablo had his souls reset. We'll see what happens here. Masquerade coming in. That's going to be a containment disc on a Genji.
This is curse a blessing in disguise. Look at that lurking arm. I told you guys.
Yeah.
Stukov on hammer.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's a Stukov kill on hammer. I'm gonna count that as a Stukov kill, even though Ultralist did the finish.
Will it
Though
be?
it looks like Banana... Oh, nice drag tongue! Dude, Nas has been on point.
Yep. Nasmus has been very on point. The brush stalk into bottom lane to go clear things out. Ultralisk is looking for the cheeky play to get a little extra damage on this keep. Swift strikes through. Dahaka's right over there, and I don't think he's going to be threatened whatsoever. Skoog to push out mid. June to heal up as well. Brandon looking for an angle. Curse is going to end in 20 seconds.
A pretty decent curse value. It got top fort, basically. It got mid fort. Both of these were next to full life, at least mid fort was. And bottom wall as well. Both towers gone, so that's a very good curse for Chili Mountain. And keep in mind at what cost it came. Masquerade was channeling the tribute while his team was fighting and went 2 for 1. Not in their favor. So 2 people died. Masquerade wasn't part of that fight, but he took the tribute, and that led to 2 forts and a front wall. So I'd say that's super worth it.
Did CPX miss the auto for the Umbral Bind right there? Yeah, he did. It's active. Huh. Weird. Anyways, that's surprising. But we have the Dahaka clearing things out in bottom lane. It is going to be 3 seconds on brush talk for anyone wondering. So Dahaka will be able to join in the fight. Nice spider mines to scout out Masquerade from the far side of that bush. Now boss being tagged. Genji coming up here. We have Siege Giants in bottom. Hoggers grabbing a camp on the left-hand side. I'm going to swap to vision really quickly for myself to see. All right, so Masquerade and Banana are showing, and then for a split second, Make on the Cassia showed just above. So it looks like Storm leashes the boss.
And Hogger is taking camp, but Storm doesn't know about that.
Yeah.
So they're being super careful when it's literally Chili Mountain all over the map. And Brandon frustratedly reinitiates because he's like, hey, it's a lot of noise, but it's not actually happening. Root stun, lol. So the Bruiser camp was taken. Now the boss is available up once again for Chili Mountain. It's 6 forts against 3. Storm very slowly starts the boss again. At this rate, the boss will just about get top fort because there's no Chili Mountain blue defenders in the top left. So it gets top fort. If the Haka Nas keeps pushing with it, it will also get top keep wall.
Next objective is announced here, 16 apiece in levels, 7 to 5 in kills, and it's getting into the late game tension. We do see Diablo at 80 souls. He's got 20 more to go to be able to get that buyback, if you will. And the other thing to note too is we have the Genji. He's already done with his level 4, and the Maiev, she'll get her second vault in 3 levels at level 20. But the fight breaks out around the eye in the bottom right of our map. Dahaka still has the brush stock, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. No, it's actually 12 seconds away.
That's a containment disc on Murden just to prevent not getting engaged on. Boss defense here against the keep is going to make sure that the keep only drops to about 70% or so. Top boss is also getting keep wall. So I thought that Chili Mountain was going to defend that a little bit stronger. And this means that the next boss phase for both sides is potentially a win condition. We're getting to that moment.
Yeah.
But I still remember just 7 minutes ago, Storm was losing hard, and now they're ahead in XP.
It's a little better macro play from Storm in some of these, in the late game right now, as I'm looking at the objective phase as well, and it's going to be bottom center of the map, should be far off from the announcement, a neutral position, but it is it's more beneficial to Chili Mountain since they have the retreat path of that bottom lane fort, and still they're well down there. So Chili Mountain with a better position, kinda, just because of their structure.
Yeah. Those forts make a big difference. It's also bonus passive experience. That tribute is going to be a little easier for Chili Mountain. They also have Murden in position. On the other hand, that Bruiser camp gives a lot of information about where Chili Mountain is, so Storm is going to be able to set up. There's going to be mines in a really weird spot. They're in that little cubby hole that most likely no one will ever go towards. But the next set of mines could be more impactful.
Good fire stomp to scout out the bush near the boss. We do have Genji checking as well with these shurikens. Hammer floating around in bottom lane. It's going to be Dahaka not showing in top. He's got the brush stock available. He could look for the flank into the enemy where Masquerade is. That's a containment disc onto Genji. Can the members of Storm make a play? Boosters out from Sergeant Hammer to get away from Skoog. We have a lot of just... Oh, wait, that's a big shockwave. CPX is very low, gets the leap of faith, and it's not going to be enough. Little Kaimo cleanse right there as Masquerade is going to be slowed by the lightning breath of Brandon, who goes in with the shadow charge. Maiev is dead for 47, but Storm Esports, they still want to kind of... Nope, they're done. They're done now. They were looking like
Yeah.
they were going to brawl, but no, that's the end of it. It's fine. They don't need to. They don't need to keep doing this. It's not like they're going to get cursed.
Okay, they're looking to get their own siege camp, but I don't think they can make it. Yeah.
Genji,
They
oh
may even-
no.
Yeah, at great risk. That's a double. Yeah, okay, there we go. Leap of faith.
And Sergeant Hammer's got the hover siege poking at some of the enemies, utilizing the napalm strike to check the bush as well. Alrighty, it is slowly but surely looking better and better for Chili Mountain, but I feel like that's a lot of these games. Like, I feel like we're in this spot for the last, like, 2 games in a row. Infernal Shrine's Battlefield have felt like this. It's been, like, so good for Chili Mountain. They're ahead in kills, but then all of a sudden, Storm Esports, they get their 20s, and that's all they needed. At least in the last 2 maps. We'll see how things work out here. Chili Mountain looking good right now with only 1 structure down in top lane.
Just one structure. That is a potential win condition for Storm if they take top boss, which will be available in a minute. Now, we do have a small little level 20 advantage for Chili Mountain. And although Storm can make 20, they're just a little slower, which means they cannot eke out a position. That's very important for heroes like Anduin and Hammer. They're going to go for that top wave.
We'll get it off that.
That top
yeah.
wave, yeah, it gets them 20, but it shows where's Maiev, where's Anduin. They see Dahaka. So you think of it from Chili's POV. They know where 3 heroes were. What does Storm know? Nothing.
They knew that someone was on the camp. I will point that one out. They knew that someone was going to camp on the bottom left, but obviously at this point the rotation should have been had. And Dahaka, he's got the brush shock. We'll see if he utilizes it. He's got the contagion level 20. We're going to have a containment disc onto the Stukov in the backline extract from the Genji. That's a lot of damage onto somebody who got dragged. That's actually, ooh, that is the Stukov to go down. Shockwave from the Hogger. June is going to be traded healer for healer. Maka very low. Genji gets the kill. So Cyber Ninja kills the Cyber tank. Brandon Lowe here is going to go down. That Soul's reset. This might have just been exactly what Chili Mountain needed to take map number 4 in our best of 5 ladder bracket playoff matchup.
I'm going to ask Justin or someone for some stats here on how often Hammer has lost. And if this is, I think maybe it's been like 2 or 3. And I think Stukov was a large part to play in that. But also
Yeah.
the Genji was played very well.
I would
He
agree.
got that X-Strike on Hammer. It was good CC, constantly set up by Masquerade. And Genji would follow up and he would chase down Anduin, he would chase down Hammer. And it looks like Chili Mountain has done it. They're going to be able to win game number 4. Very well played by them. A beautiful blue painted map as they go for the core. This time for sure on BOE they couldn't finish it off, but now they can. We're going to go to a game number 5. The final kill. They're going for the core. 70%, 40%. Enemy team dominated. GG.
Chili Mountain, they continue the series, and we head to a map number 5 between these 2 amazing teams. I have to say, this was really, really well played from Chili Mountain. Storm Esports had some cool moments, but I do think that Ultralisk on the Genji was really just a critical way to shut down this Hammer being so sticky in the backline. Bananas, Stukov, really good with those lurking arms, forcing positional changes and forcing June to use Leap of Faith in moments that it really wasn't, I wouldn't say necessary, but just moments where June probably didn't want to use Leap of Faith. Now, of course, Justing, he's back in the mix. We've got him here to break down everything. That's Curse Hollow.
So Chili Mountain did a really good job of sort of just splitting up all the fights and creating a lot of chaos pretty much everywhere across the fight. The expectation was sort of that Chili Mountain would need to be the team that's diving the backline, but because of Genji having range and the Maiev being the pick that you have coming out for Storm typically with the Hammer composition, you want to just play a front to back with double ranged, where you're just kind of slowly whittling away at the opponent, and you're making it so that the enemy is playing on a time run, they're forced to fight. This game was much different, where they have the Maiev, and CPX in particular on the Maiev, I think he played a little bit too aggressively in general this game. Him and Nazmaz on the Dahaka were really, really aggro into the backline, but Maka and June on Anduin and Sergeant Hammer can't follow up on that. That's not what Sergeant Hammer really excels at. Sergeant Hammer really wants to just play these slow front-to-back fights where you kind of just slowly whittle down your opponent, where CPX was trying to play super fast and just high-paced dive into the backline with the Maiev. And this type of just really split fight where there's kind of a fight on the backline and a fight on the front line really caters much better to what Chili Mountain's draft has. They have things like the Genji that can create a lot more chaos into the backline. Even Cassia as a ranged is going to be a lot more mobile and a lot more kind of just versatile than the Sergeant Hammer is. Sergeant Hammer's very telegraphed with what she wants to do. She just wants to sit back and throw auto attacks from as far away as possible. Also, Brandon on the Diablo playing a little bit too aggressively, and Chili Mountain creating this chaos with their composition, with their picks. I had mentioned that they needed a lead before 16. They did have a 3-fort advantage to no forts taken for Storm at level 16s. While Chili Mountain didn't have a big experience lead, they'd gotten an entire curse, a 1 tribute before level 16. They snowballed the early game like they needed to, and they managed to actually carry that momentum into the late game, past when they had the level 16s. Once they got to level 20s, Chili Mountain still just winning the fights because they were playing them better. The fights were all split. Look at this. It's kind of a 2v2 and a 3v3. There's no cohesion. Storm Esports is not allowed to be as 5, which is what their comp needs to excel and win team fights. And as soon as the fights get split up like that, Chili Mountain just rips them apart because they win these little skirmishes. They win these small 2v2s and 3v3s within the fight. And once they get one pick, they can just keep popping off. They have the resets on Genji. They have heroes like Muradin who just want to dive in over and over and over again. And they have a lot more mobility to reposition in the fight. So Chili Mountain snowballing like they needed to and creating chaos with the Genji pick. It has felt now that the Genji really plays better to Chili Mountain's playstyle. And that seems to be something that's really catching Storm off guard, not being able to deal with just the level of chaos and disruption that the Genji brings alongside things like the Muradin.
It is a really, really strong map number 4 for Chili Mountain, and I'm excited to see what they're able to do on map number 5, because we do have that coming up in just a little bit. But of course, as always, we are going to allow these players to stretch their legs, get a cup of tea, and get ready for this map number 5. A lot of tension on the line. The loser of this matchup, that is the end of their season. The winner, they go up against Diamond Hands, who are waiting in the next best of 5 today. The winner of that one determines who goes to the double elimination bracket in August. But of course, as I mentioned, we're going to get into a short little break. In that break, I want to have you all hit exclamation point prize pool, because if you have not heard, there are some changes that are happening to the prize pool. Wisdom will be donating $10,000 at the end of the season to the prize pool. So right now, the prize pool is at $14,133.98. 10K will be added to that. But not only that, the teams will also be taking 100% of the prize pool. There's no longer a 60-40 split between the teams and Wisdom. It is now 100% to the players. So first place takes 35% of what could be roughly $25,000. So if you'd like to support these teams, you'd like to support the prize pool, exclamation point prize pool in chat. But of course, as I mentioned, when we come back, Justin will have a bunch of bird facts for all of you here on HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. Welcome back to HeroesCCL, presented by Birds. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justin. All right, Justin, I'm right to you, bud.
Although an ostrich cannot fly, it can run up to 60 miles per hour.
Good to know. Did you know that the pigment in the blue jay's feathers is melanin, which is brown? The blue color is caused by the scattering of the light through the modified cells on the surface of the feather barbs. Did you all know that?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that? The viewers didn't hear it. Did you know that the blue tit is the natural predator of the processionary oak caterpillar?
I did not know that, but now I know. You know what I did know is that I did a project in university where we made birdhouses. We had to choose a specific type of bird for it that to be made for, and I chose the blue tit. My professor looked at me, he goes, someone always does. So anyways, let's talk about HeroesCCL, because we are getting ready for map number 5 in this Gauntlet series. This is do or die right now. You lose this map, that's the end of your season. You win this map, you go up against Diamond Hands in the next best of 5. Let's go ahead and find out where we're going to for our 5th and final map in the first best of 5 of the day. And oh, Justin, everyone loves some Garden of Terror, chosen by Chili Mountain, as Storm Esports has opted in for first pick priority.
We've got a Garden of Terror for the final map. So Chili Mountain going to be happy about this. We'll see if Storm is as happy as it is the Chili Mountain map pick. And this is a map that at the start of the season was kind of a staple. It was a favorite of all the teams. It hasn't seen quite as much play, as much priority as we did at the start of the season. But reaching deep here, maybe we'll see some crazy strategies coming up from Chili Mountain. They're a team that played things like Vikings at the start of the season with the Sergeant Hammer. They kind of started that whole comp on Towers of Doom. So we'll see if they have some cool strategies prepared, as this is tournament lives on the line for both of these teams.
It's going to be exciting stuff here on Garden of Terror, a map where the draft is very, very I wouldn't say very unique, but we do get more uniqueness in the drafts. You need, as Justin has said in the past, we often see the solo lane sandwich, where you get something like a Hogger and Leoric who can manage top and bottom, but also grab their own camps. And then you get something like in the core and mid lane, like a healer, a good tank, and then some sort of hyper carry. That's what we've seen stylistically on Garden of Terror, but that doesn't mean that that's the only thing we could see. We could see Falstad in one of those sandwich lanes to be able to fly around. He can grab camps on his own and build up a lot of those autos, or even his Q build. Never W build, never take W on Falstad. It's dishonorable, like the name of the talent. But Grubby, we're here into Garden of Terror. Thoughts on bans, picks, or the map?
Yeah, I think Chromie ban worked out well. Chromie ban worked out well for Chili Mountain. I think they should stick with that. Justin called it at the event of game number 4, and no need to deviate from it now.
No need to deviate. Justin.
Yeah, I'd like to see...
Is it just ban Chromie, win the game?
I think it is ban Chromie, pick Genji, and try to win the game. But Falstad is still available. He is a bird. We haven't seen any Medivh coming out. He's also a bird, so I'm just weighing the options of any potential hero picks we could see. The Genji does get banned, that makes sense. The expectation is for a Chromie ban, as we're getting into very deep stylistic bans to specifically counter what the enemy plays, as opposed to just banning what is kind of the rigid meta first picks.
Now I'm waiting, Grubby, patiently or even excitedly to see if Chili Mountain targets CPX here, because
they will.
Oh, they won't.
They will not. Genji has been banned out.
You have to.
And this. Well, Blaze was also very integral to the success, oftentimes. But the Genji ban, that hero was part of 2 winning drafts for Chili Mountain, so that makes a lot of sense.
What are you thinking here, Justin, on the the Blaze first pick, and of course what we're going to see from Chili Mountain?
The expectation is if Chili Mountain doesn't pick the Chromie themselves, that Storm would be happy to take it on the 2-3 still, as they have seen so much success with it. The offlane pool is a little choked, so Dahaka is kind of the obvious choice. It's pretty hard to make a sandwich with no bread. They're going to opt to just see what they get later on in the draft. So Storm might look to ban out the Dahaka on the second phase, as they already have the Blaze and they've banned Hogger. There's now also a bit of a support choke that could be brewing as well. So Storm is going to get the option to decide sort of whether they want to choke the offlane or the healer pool. They could even take the Dahaka themselves and just make themselves a nice offlane sandwich with Blaze and Dahaka, and then really choke the offlane pool with another ban against Chili Mountain, make them dig really deep. But they do look to go with the Rhaegar, which means there's a little bit more chance for a healer ban, but it's likely either the Anduin or Dahaka for Storm.
I just can't stop thinking about sandwiches now, Justin, because that's it's just I'm thinking about bread and sandwiches. But we get into the ban phase here, and the members of Storm Esports, I mean, this could still be the Chromie ban. They need some sort of hyper carry. It's going to be Sergeant Hammer instead. So we could see like a hyper carry Chromie, and then maybe like a false. Actually, yeah, Falstad Chromie from Storm would be great for the end. Grubby, I see
There's
you
a chance we're not seeing it anymore, because it was allowed by Chili Mountain. Storm is loath to actually fall into the expectations, and they've gone with a bit more of a defensive preparatory draft with Blaze, John, and Rhaegar, so that they can really flex whichever direction they want. We could still see CPX going for like Cassia instead, or Sylvanas. Not Sylvanas, obviously. We could not possibly see that because it's not quick match. But yeah, let's see what Chili Mountain goes, and Storm will fill in the final gaps. Gonna be Dahaka, it's gonna be Malf. Wait, that means Tracer is being threatened on the final slot.
And will Storm Esports do what they did earlier on Infernal Shrines and just take the Tracer? Or is this a bait to get Storm Esports to take the Tracer because the Malfearin's coming out? We'll have to see what happens in the next 10 seconds. I'm really excited about this. I do think that like Falstad Chromie still could be the pickup here. Like I think it works good for them. We'll just have to honestly see right now what it is going to be in these last 2 picks for Storm Esports. There's the Tracer and the Junkrat. Okay, nice call, Grubby. Really good call, Grubby, on that one.
Nice call. I sure you're being humble here, but it's obvious. You called the Mephisto. Well, after it was picked, you said you. But I believe you. But this one's really solid. So they denied the Tracer.
We're like the best caster trio in all of Heroes of the Storm. But Justin, of course, we're getting the last pick from Chili Mountain. Thoughts on the draft, as it's a Kerrigan hyper carry. Well, no, sorry, not hyper carry, because there is the Sylvanas.
Yeah, so the composition now from Chili Mountain is extremely tanky. I think that Storm may have made a mistake by trying so hard to deny the Tracer. The main reason I think they took it is the Malf is there, which threatens the Tracer for Chili Mountain, but more importantly than that, CPX is comfortable on the Tracer, so it might have almost been a bait to get them to pick it, and if they want to pick the Junkrat, you don't really want to pick Junkrat into Tracer. So typically, Tracer and Junkrat on their own aren't really the best at dealing with tanks, but for whatever reason, Tracer Junkrat has been a bit of a staple combo, just historically. It's something that Dignitas back in the day used to play all the time, was these two heroes together. And although it always felt weird to me that they were able to basically just kill whoever they wanted, for some reason when you combo these two heroes together, they do a good job of covering for each other in team fights. So they kind of make up for each other's weaknesses to some extent. So they may struggle a bit to be able to kill the tanky members of Chili Mountain though, with having no percent damage and having just light damage overall. But Mouth might be a detriment, so expect him to get dove quite a bit here. I'm watching Banana to see if the support choke is going to pay off for Storm.
All right, well, let's see how things pay off, because we're here in a map number 5. Winner goes on up against Diamond. Loser goes home, and that's the end of Season 4 of HeroesCCL. Chili Mountain in the blue, Ultralisk, Kerrigan, Skoog on the Dahaka, Masquerade on the Muradin, Banana on the Malfurion, and Make on the Sylvanas. Storm Esports in the red. Same situation for them. Brandon on the Joanna, CPX on the Tracer, Maka on the Junkrat, Nasmus to play the Blaze, and June on the Rhaegar. An X Factor for me, I mean, like, Kerrigan's an X Factor, Justin Grubby, of course, but it's Make's Sylvanas was extremely good on map number 1, and some early kills from that was really, really good. I feel like Chili Mountain can do this, but you know what? I like the underdog story. I want to see Storm Esports up against Diamond Hands. What are you thinking here about the draft, the game, or even the map?
Yeah, Tracer into this seems tough. I was wondering if he was going to take the bonus auto attack range just to kind of like shoot at those front lines from a little bit further away. So Tracer rounds, it can be decent, but I guess it's more of a meme at pro play. Double charge of melee with cooldown reduction is super solid. Yeah, so why are Junkrat Tracer together? I didn't know about that combo existing in the minds of people. But it kind of makes sense. Tracer's the finisher, Junkrat is the starter, and also to split people with the mine can be helpful because Tracer prefers to do some serious one-on-oneing private sessions rather than having like big group session where she has to move into everyone and they can all protect each other. Like to hunt the isolated targets.
Yeah. I like it. I kind of like it, but we'll have to see if CPX can perform on the Tracer. That's the big thing, too, because the Maiev in the last game, some unforced errors from CPX in that game, to be blunt, and I'm hoping, for him at least, he can kind of reel it back in from that game, as I was expecting a lot more from his Tracer, or from his Maiev. Either way, Masquerade is back on Muradin, which on Alterac Pass he had really, really good control, so we'll see how this all works out. Alterac Pass was such a close game between both teams, and Storm Esports definitely was taking it at the end, but same thing for them. They two major unforced errors, and they fell apart on Alterac Pass. We'll see if they're able to do things here on Garden of Terror, as the Fort Front Gate is going to be going down, one tower as well. The other tower dropped to about 50%, and the first of 3 seeds, well, the first seed is going to be spawning in the bottom right, and it is going to be 3 seeds necessary, much like Curse Hall, the map we're on, but the difference here, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to Heroes, you haven't seen this map, or maybe you just don't know, that on Garden of Terror, you no longer get the Curse of the Ravenlord, you get Queen Nightshade's Garden Terrors, which are going to be pushing in the lane, and they'll go up as far as your current minion wave. They lose health as they auto-attack, they lock down structures, they deal significant damage, and CPX has the first channel. But Grubby, this is kind of expected with the positioning of the seed to be favorable on Storm Esports' side.
Yeah, exactly. You generally give it up either with a token attempt to postpone and delay, or a serious attempt, or none at all, but you generally don't expect to get it. They don't have Hanzo or Chromie to shoot from over the wall, so yeah, Chili Mountain just gives it up totally normal.
So it's I'm looking around the map as well as just what we have for experience between the two teams. Mercenaries, there's a 9 experience difference between the two, just 9 experience. Minions is like 200 or something. Passive is the same structure. There's 250 in favor for the side of Storm Esports, but Chili Mountain will be able to kind of grab a little experience through this bottom lane. I say that, and actually the 2 towers fall to 50 or so%. Sylvanas Siege is not getting the value that I was expecting.
Yeah, it's a combination of Brandon doing a double blind. Good. Rhaegar, Junkrat, splash damage. And that extra Iron Skin shield that absorbs a lot of damage without him becoming a threat. Whoa, that jump in from Muradin feels insane.
Yeah.
But it was actually part of a Dahaka attack. Nonetheless, though, Storm easily rebuffs that attack.
It was actually, I think, it was like a second or two too fast. Skoog was still in the brushstock animation, and Skoog comes through just as the Muradin dies and has to back away immediately. Really good play overall from Storm Esports, kicking things off here on Garden of Terror, map number 5. Storm really showing that they want this next series and to knock Chili Mountain out. Haunting Wave will deny June 1. Make doesn't have any sort of extra stall. There's a Concussion Mine just to poke. Chattering Teeth. Ooh, wait, Banana scouted out by CPX gets hit with the Pulse Bomb. Kerrigan combo doesn't connect because I think actually Dahaka landed the drag, which locked Tracer in place.
Is it though? Does that really lock her in place? There's a lot of other rubber banding going on while he has drag tongue. I feel like it was the edge of terrain. That was some pretty...
Okay.
It feels almost buggy, but it was probably game logic. Like, Tracer was so close to trying to take a selfie on the edge and then just falling off.
Oh God, no.
He got saved. Yeah. You gotta be careful with those, but he stayed alive. Lucky for him. Storm maintains their lead.
It's one of those things that, like, the thought will pop up in your head and you just get that shiver, like, oh, no.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We did a giant, like, 2-day hiking trip back in Michigan and pictured rocks, and like the entire time you're walking along like a cliffside that's like 100+ foot drop, like, and I think about that all the time. It's just like, oh, you don't pay attention for 5 minutes and whoop, up, goodbye. 10 talent tier.
Instagram likes or life. It's tough, yeah.
But either way, it's going to be 10s apiece. Mind Control Sylvanas is the cool thing that I wanted to point out here from our 10 talent tier. It's going to play well into this Summon Ultralisk from Ultralisk. You'll see a Mind Control into the Ultralisk combo to just lock someone in place. At least that's my expectation. Maybe we'll see a root from Banana as well, follow up Stormbolt. Good heroics across the board. Want to point out Tracer's heroic will be the Sticky Bomb. So you have the increased radius and then the slow for 70% for 3 seconds.
That's such a debilitating slow, 70% 3 second. Imagine being Kerrigan, not having Chrysalis, and getting that kind of slow. You're a fish in the water.
What kind of fish? Trumpet fish?
I was thinking about
fish,
it.
fish.
Yeah, there's... Actually, does that make any sense? You're a fish in the water? No, fish are very comfortable in the water.
What's
no,
it's the saying fish out of water. Fish out of water.
You're a fish in the water. Oh, so you're totally fine then.
If you're a fish in the water, you're just I'm wet, but I don't even know it. Like it's just plain. Anyway,
do you think they do?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like because we don't have a concept of like oxygen around us, you know.
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, that's news to me.
Weird.
It is weird. Okay.
It's everywhere.
You can it's like heavy and like you can feel like the weight of the air. Seed could be over to the side of Storm Esports, and it doesn't seem like Chili Mountain can step or will step into this. Ooh, mind control. Wait.
Maka will step in, but not by his own volition. Got mind controlled, but he's gonna be okay. Ultralisk was used somewhere by Ultralisk. He's also almost finished stacking 74. That's quite fast. But this, it's funny because Kerrigan used to be early game monster, late game weak. Now it's kind of a little bit different, where she's like forced to farm quests early game because that's simply the best level 4 talent for burst. And in doing so, Chili Mountain has given up the early game, given up 3 consecutive plant seeds, and the defense is now being done with a 3-2 split, 0-3-2 to be clear for Chili Mountain, which gives CPX a free attack top lane. That's a fort down. Mid fort mostly alive, bottom fort mostly alive as well. So single fort for the objective. Not bad for Storm. It was relatively early. I think Masquerade just intentionally launched himself in the mid lane, standing on the far side of Concussive, as, let's say, a free dwarf task, but nothing came of it.
So 1 fort down. What is it? Is it like 25% off the bottom lane? I'm trying to look, but Kerrigan's kind of in the way on the minimap at least. It's kind of close to 50%, yeah, but not too bad play from Storm Esports, as they also have the 13 talent tier advantage for a sliver right now. That's a flank from Masquerade that is just read by the side of Storm Esports. CPX almost gets the kill. Avatar and Tranquility pop to try and save Muradin, and he will stay alive. On the opposing side, all that was used, well, it's actually 2 for 2. It's the Blessed Shield and Pulse Bomb for the Avatar and Tranquility. Lower cooldowns. I would say lower cooldowns for Storm Esports because CPX can just auto, and he's already at 50. He's nearly back at a full Pulse Bomb again.
Yeah. You want to trade Blessed Shield for anything like Tranquility, Avatar, to be sure. And again, Masquerade electing not to go for the heroic CDR through Reverberation. I think Reverb a lot better in Storm League because you're constantly having meaningless fights for people not knowing why they're fighting. They're just brawling because this is the brawler MOBA. But he's going for the Sledgehammer for the definitive structural damage, Siege Camp taking potential, and thinking like, yeah, how many reverbs am I really getting in a 70-second period in between my heroic cooldowns? And yeah, the answer, I guess, is not.
Wow, nice Iron Skin to eat the mind control from Sylvanas. 35-second cooldown currently. Next Siege should not be actually far from the announcement from when the Garden Tear ended to when we get our next Seed phase. Kerrigan looking to jump onto Nasmus, who drops down the bunker. Everybody get in the pillbox as Nasmus is able to mount up and get away on his standard horse.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nasmus,
we'll pretend
I'm sorry.
we had to go without, but now we'll just try to ignore that.
I don't know if I can cast anymore. Buds, if we can get a zoom in on this horse right here, that'd be much appreciated. But
you gotta try. You gotta try.
You gotta flame the players when you can. But 16 talent tier. I think this is a good moment for Chili Mount to step in because that's even talent tier. And Dahaka is actually grabbing Soak in top lane, so maybe a fight for Storm in bottom.
Yeah, Chili Mountain is going to give up bottom for it. It was low enough. This level 4 bonus Iron Skin is continually being used to absorb 1000+ damage from the fort, and then they were able to push it down with that. Meanwhile, Sylvanas Make, he's pushing top towers. We had a 2-2 split from Chili in the top mid lane. They're getting a bit of extra experience. They're getting some towers. They gave up that seed. With the double tower now, they've almost equalized.
Okay, so Siege 9's push up a little bit here. The gate's gone, but a fort and a seed go over to the side of Storm Esports. That's still a big win for Storm in this situation as the fight breaks out in the mid lane area. Knockback from the Dahaka, 16s apiece in levels. Will the Forsaken for the Sylvanas will be big as well. But we do have a lot of damage. Ancestral healing doesn't even get... It's a 1-second windup, and Ancestral can't go out. Junkrat goes down in a big burst of damage.
Let's check how much damage he took exactly in the recap.
Okay.
You took 2,310 damage in 0.8 seconds.
Ouch.
And 100% of that was Kerrigan.
That's like... looking at that moment is like, if I see like, and I know people are in chat are going to be like, ew. When you watch like League of Legends in a game that you don't really like fully understand the MOBA, like the time to kill in League of Legends felt like that right there, where it's just like all of a sudden someone's dead. It's like, how? Why? Where did everything come from? And it's just like, well, Junkrat's dead. He did respawn, and a Siege should go over to Chili Mountain positionally as well. Junkrat still kind of walking back or floating back from the Hall of Storms.
That sounds like a dumb game to me. Give me odds where one-shots aren't possible. Wait, Ultralisk did just do that. 2.8k in 0.8 seconds. Junkrat doesn't even have that much health. He took a heal, which actually made that damage needed. And that's Ultralisk level 16 talent coming through as well. It's a double stun combo via Ultralisk and Painful Spikes. And Painful Spikes is doing a lot of extra damage. When you impale someone, you can do up to like almost 900 extra damage just by doing damage against them via autos or ravage. Pretty solid.
Little fun fact about those other MOBAs. Do you know why last hitting is actually still in them?
Why?
Because in Dota 2, the mod in Warcraft 3, they couldn't figure out a way to get rid of the last hit mechanic for gold, or they couldn't figure out how to, like, who gets the gold for, like, a kill in lane, so they did the last hitting mechanic. And then when League of Legends and Dota 2 were fully released as games, they kept that factor in there because it was such a thing that was already there. So because people couldn't, in the custom Warcraft, couldn't get rid of it, that's the reason it exists. Not because it's a skill difference, which I'm sure some people would argue, it's just because...
Well, it is now.
It is now, for sure, yeah, absolutely. But I like to pretend like it's
some people enjoy and some people don't. That's a double Stormbolt on Rhaegar and the Blaze. Blaze Jet Propulsion's in. There's the Chrysalis. He's gonna try to combo Blaze, but Blaze got the cleanse, I think, from June. Watch June's position. That's a good Ancestral. In comes a Riptire, and it's going to get a 4-man hit. Murdy gets isolated away, so does Nas. Nas gets pulled in, but he jet propulses away. It's a really big fight going on here. It's very close. They're trying to get Sylvanas. Can CPX still have the reach to go for Sylvanas? No, it's a full disengage. What an exciting fight with no casualties presently.
Nasmus, I thought he was dead to rights right there with just mind control and just the layered CC on him and just overall damage, but not enough. And that is going to be, let's see, all that's left. Actually, all that is left right now is isolation, but mind control is on a 5-second cooldown. Bless Shield in 20, Ancestral in a minute. 60 seconds. Drag will not connect. Skoog grabs a Skeletal Defender, a Sapper, as Masquerade a little bit low. No Avatar for the next 45 seconds. Kerrigan is working on a wave in the top lane as the bottom lane does have a Bruiser Camp pushing in. June looking for the channel. This is 2 out of 2 seeds for these teams. The team to get the seed right here will get Garden Terror, and it seems like June wants the channel, but he keeps canceling. What happens with the fight?
Yeah, working on that wave
Nas?
makes sense. Ultralisk gets a lot of shield from that. Nas is just being completely left alone. There we go. He gets a cleanse, gets a heal. Now the turnaround on Masquerade. Masquerade peels for himself with the Stormbolt. He's going to be able to get away. Brandon is chasing. He doesn't have plus shield anymore. Rhaegar gets isolated, dragged in. Rhaegar trying to get away. Maka goes in, gets the kill. Ultralisk goes down. It's a 1-for-1, and it's not over yet.
Big bunker down from the Blaze as CPX will make the recall happen. Concussion Mine splits Skoog. Tracer looking for the blink into Banana, and that will be a mid lane fort to fall from the Garden Terror that just spawned as June got that channel, if I'm not mistaken. Bottom lane cleared out. And so what does this Garden Terror phase get for the side of Storm? You see them move into mid lane, and I'm looking at health bars. I think there was a tap onto well for Tracer, Joanna, and Junkrat. Blaze already in the top lane. This is 4v4 in the top. Garden Terror pushing in bottom lane. Garden Terrors lose health as they auto attack, unlike a Tomb of Spider Queen, which is just losing health over time.
Yep, that's true. And of course, when you attack it, that always works as well. Level 20 against level 19. It's 4 versus 4. No healer for Storm, though. They gotta watch out.
No healing available, no bunker either for the next 15 seconds, so Keep Front Gate does go down. Bottom lane Garden Terror sitting on around a third of its HP as it makes its way into the bottom lane Keep Front Gate. And Grubby, I was about to take stock of the kills. It's 2-2 in kills, 16 minutes in. This has felt like the lowest kill game thus far in this series.
Yeah, that's true. But it's felt exciting nonetheless.
I agree.
Everything is at stake. There were 2 seeds apiece. There was equal levels. They both used a lot of heroics. There were fights without kills just because the protection has been so good. Very, very exciting here. As let's see, we have that Serenity coming in from Malfurion. Blink for Kerrigan. Let's look at hero damage. Sylvanas has 29,000. Next best is Kerrigan with 16.
Oh my god, Junkrat.
Junkrat is 43,000.
Joanna.
Next best is Joanna with 30k. More than Tracer with 20.
Joanna has more heroic damage by over 1,000. Well, actually, now it's not the case, but had more damage than Sylvanas for a few moments there, which I found very funny. Sylvanas, who's so very strong in the hands of Make, as we saw in map number 1, and we've been seeing in this map as well. And the Call of the Dark Lady was the pickup at level 20 as well, which means with like the cast time and everything, like it's realistically it's like a 10-second cooldown for mind control. So it's a very spammable heroic at this point. And the big thing also is just rewind for the Muradin to be able to get the lockdown. Now, also big is Chili Mountain. They have 2 out of 3 seeds. If they get this, that'll be Garden Terror for them, and obviously Storm not wanting that to happen. All heroics across the board off cooldown.
This is much scarier for Storm than it is for Chili. Chili Mountain could give this up. They could have chosen to go clear top. But they're here. They're clearing siege. They're letting Bruiser Camp happen. They're baiting Storm into a team fight that doesn't matter as much for Chili Mountain themselves. Kerrigan blinks away. She's low. Serenity heals her up. Ultralisk biding his time on the back. Standing behind Malfurion. Full life. Now he's full life again.
Ancestral with the Farseer's Blessing will connect onto Tracer. She tries to spread that to some allies. Isolation will be onto June and Nasmus, who kind of back away from the engagement. If you were wondering why Kerrigan got bopped around, there's no Haymaker, but actually, there is a Haymaker. It gets stuffed level 20 for the Tracer, does give the target knockaway. So if you're wondering at home why Kerrigan got bopped around that last engagement, it is from Tracer's level 20 trying to deep dive onto Ultralisk, and the camp in top lane pushing up onto a keep, getting some damage, maybe maybe like 25, not even that. It's going to be just a sliver of damage on the keep, but maybe a fight to break out onto Muradin over here with a split engagement.
Really interesting how Kerrigan played that one after he got put low. He just stayed at the back. He didn't even step up at all. No Chrysalis, no Blink. Wasn't going to contribute at all. I'm just assuming that however Ultralisk plays Kerrigan is going to be correct. And I gotta say, it's scary as a melee assassin just to stand all the way at the back. Not because you could die, obviously you can't, but just because you're... Wouldn't there be a fear of under-contributing?
Mm-hmm.
But he relied on his teammates to have his healer do the heals, have his tank do the tanks, and also recognizing that maybe that's not their fight anymore.
Next seed, top right of the map, positionally in favor of Storm Esports, as they still have their mid lane fort as well to back off to for well if they need it. That's going to be Earth Grasp Totem from June. Heroics, when we look across the board, 5 seconds on Ancestral, Avatar just now coming back up. Once again, the seed, if gotten by the side of Chili Mountain, gets Garden Terror over the side of Storm, puts them on 2 out of 3, and the lanes are looking good for Storm Esports still.
Storm has access to Siege Camp. They're deciding not to, just to put every single concentration and focus on having the best possible setup.
Combo from Kerrigan. Nasmus gets chunked to around 75%. Riptire onto Skoog Masquerade. CPX jumps out of the bunker as well. Nasmus with that 50 armor able to back away. Ultralisk around 25% HP and is not sure of how they want to play this on the side of Chili Mountain. Tracer getting some clear onto these sappers. Masquerade looking for the flank over here on the right of our screen.
Yeah, Mokka felt that coming, so he put the trap, he went over the wall, and then even put himself in a safe position. Very clever positioning and movement.
Skoog, I'm waiting. I was waiting to see what Skoog does. That should be 1 or 2 cannonballs to delay. So we'll see if another cannonball does come through. It's going to be interrupted. Ultralisk on the far side is going to look for the Blink Ultralisk combo. Watch this right here. You see the danger pings. Ultralisk has run this play in the past before on the far side of these walls. We actually saw him do that with Liam in the past as well, if I'm not mistaken. Ultralisk will grab this Siege Giant Camp, start to work on it. The wave in mid is pushing up in favor for Storm. In bottom, for Storm maybe as well. Seems like it will be equalized. Junkrat checking the camp with the concussion, or with the cannonballs.
Yeah, Ultralisk also builds up shield when he does that, which lasts for 6 seconds. So should a fight break out, even when he's caught midway. Oh, big flank from Ultralisk. Looking at Blaze, but Tracer's there. That's a Blaze combo. A lot of damage. He turns on Tracer! Tracer dropped real low. Ancestral on Tracer. Tracer now chasing Kerrigan.
CPX not sharing the Ancestral with Nasmus, who does get hit with the Mind Control, but there's going to be a Blessed Shield into 2 players, and that's going to be Dahaka to go down first in the engagement. Burden, Dwarf tosses in. CPX is the target. Stormbolt will land. Malfurion trying to get some autos. Sylvanas with the Haunting Wave, but she's not able to step in, and with the kill onto Dahaka, this is Seed over to the side of Storm Esports. Storm Esports holding extremely well in the series, but they're not done. Look at Nasmus on the minimap. He's in the bush. Do the members of Chili Mountain know this? I don't think they do. Nasmus comes in. He misses this Jet Propulsion stun. Mind Control, and he's rooted in place.
Yeah, Mind Controlled and rooted. If that Jet Propulsion hit, that could have been actually the end of the game, potentially, if they get 1 or 2 kills. But, yeah, didn't quite work out. Nice try, though. June kind of smurfed that fight. I mean, Ancestral and Tracer, yeah, was a little early, but let's not forget he was exactly where he needed to be. How could he anticipate that he should have been there? Tracer was mid lane, Blaze was in the bush. Blaze was the target, then Tracer became the target, and June was there with the Ancestral. And then the cleanse. I don't remember who it was on, but I remember the cleanse was perfect.
Blaze.
Maybe on Blaze.
It was on Blaze, yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
I'm looking really quickly to see wells for these teams. 80 seconds for Murd and Sylvanas, 70 for the Joanna, 50 for the Blaze. Those are the only wells that are tapped. Everyone else has their well available for anyone that is wondering. That is tap and maybe going for the fight. Make is going to be pulled in by Brandon. Shield glare onto Masquerade as Junkrat continues to poke out as well. Blaze coming down here. We've got 2 camps contesting in top, and Dahaka showing mid. He will have the brush stock available to jump in here. Does have his heroic. Actually, all heroics are off cooldown. Big engagement could be had here by either side. Mind Control misses.
Mind Control misses. It's only 15-second cooldown. Brandon? You'll note that Brandon is very conservative with his Blessed Shield. He tries to save it for as long as possible so that it doesn't run into standard defensive tools like Avatar and Chrysalis and baits his team. He wants to hold it as a punishment for a deep dive, which is why Ultralisk has to play a lot safer as well.
Mind control will connect there. Brandon is going to be blinded, or at least he's not able to see his team for a couple seconds here. Masquerade comes in with the big dwarf toss. That's going to be a drag connecting onto Tracer. Jet propulsion from the Blaze will connect as the bunker comes down as well. Riptire coming out from Maka, looking for a target. Masquerade still an avatar, not the best target. Explodes. I actually don't think it found any value right there, but I think Maka wanted to get back into the fight. Big concussion mine splits back the enemy, and oh my god, that's going to be Blaze to fall first. Ancestors healing onto June. Brandon trying to back away, looking to see, does he have Iron Skin? Not for 5 seconds. Pops the shield glare, gets a little bit of shielding himself, and now the seed, the long night begins for Chili Mountain. What do they get? I feel like the biggest investment is straight through bottom lane, look for a keep guarantee, as the top lane should be saved by the Garden Terror.
Top keep may still die, very maybe, but it does nothing in push. Mid has a fort buffer. Bot goes straight to keep, like you said. And if Chili Mountain can get one more kill, they go core. In fact, maybe even if they don't get a kill, they go core. This could be the beginning of the end. It's that huge isolation from Skoke, that contagion that hit the triple silence that may have won Chili Mountain the game after 25 minutes. Let's see and what happens. Ultralisk dropping pretty low. And Storm hold.
Shielding is starting to be scratched. Pulse Bomb goes out onto the Sylvanas, who's going to be around 25%. That's going to be the healing out from the Malfurion as the core is falling rapidly. Garden Terror is still available, and I don't think that there's a way for the members of Storm Esports to alleviate the damage that is on the core. They try their best, but it's going to be Dahaka at the last second. If that team fight happened 5 seconds faster, the respawns would have been there, and Storm would have held here, in my opinion. But the way that things collapsed, layered, and played out, it was all Chili Mountain. Storm Esports, they end their HeroesCCL season, and that'll be Chili Mountain going up against Diamond Hands in our next best of 5. But of course, Justin, you have seen through so much of this, and I got to get your thoughts, your analysis, your breakdown on Garden of Terror, map number 5 in our first best of 5 of the day.
Yeah, what a comeback within this last game by Chili Mountain, being able to rally near the end of the game, and just good patience and discipline from them. They ended up winning the game off of their 3rd plant capture, whereas Storm had gotten 3 to get their first objective, 3 to get their second objective, and it was 2-2 at the end there, so they had gotten a total of 8 plants collected to the 3 that Chili Mountain got when they got their final one and finally ended the game. So just really good discipline by Chili Mountain to be able to, you know, recognize that it's okay to give them, it's okay to give the plants as long as it's not going to be a game-losing situation. Because the early game was really rough for Chili Mountain with their draft. They didn't have enough macro across the board to really keep up with the early game rotations from Storm, so it felt like they were mostly just playing from behind on the map and really heavily reliant on these picks. This was a moment where there was a bit of a coordination between Skog and Masquerade jumping forward on the Muradin. I think he maybe thought that the Dahaka dig would come a little bit earlier there. But Chili Mountain's composition was just fishing for picks, but they need to use quite a bit of ults typically to get it. And if they use all of their ults on one target and don't get the pick, they basically just have to leave. But it's good to see the restraint from them and understanding that when they do have no ultimates, when they do lose the initial fight, if they don't land their CCs and get their picks, that they did leave. They were willing to give plants quite a bit. That's why it was such a low kill game. We see here it's 2-2 in kills at level 19. For both these teams, and this was the second kill of the game there at level 19, because there's just so much patience by Chili Mountain. Finally, this is the moment where they feel they have to pull the trigger, only when they get a big combo. You had the huge 3-man ISO by Skoog into the combo by Ultralisk on the Kerrigan, and just getting comboed like that for Storm, really rough. Their composition thrives in big open spaces where they're not dealing with all these chokes. That was an unlucky spot to fight when it's 2-2, where Chili Mountain has many places to flank from. We saw Masquerade and Ultralisk on the Kerrigan and the Muradin, just constantly looking for flanks against the side of Storm. And once again, Chili Mountain kind of having a composition that creates chaos and splits the fight up as much as possible and just flanks from all angles, even without having the Genji, and Storm not being able to deal with it, not playing around that playstyle well enough. So Chili Mountain sticking to what is making them successful in the past year with the playstyle, and we'll see if that's enough to go up against Diamond Hands, but it was about as close as it could get in that last game. Had that last team fight gone differently, it would have been Storm. So Chili Mountain just barely makes it out here through the gauntlet.
It's exciting stuff. It is really exciting because that was a beautiful 5-game series that, well, of course, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, went all 5 games. Congratulations to Chili Mountain as they will be going up against Diamond Hands, well, in like 20-ish or so minutes, because right now, I need to remind you of something very important, everyone at home, that it's up to you to get the best picks for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. Justing.
And the best part is that it's free and that you can change your mind at any time.
If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares of the and pick the other team before the match is over. Exactly, Justin. You nailed it. Perfectly said, my friend. As the CCL markets trade from 0 to 100, with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. There's tons of prizes this season, so join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. Exciting stuff from Ball Street. Thank you for joining us, as it was a really, really good first series of the day. But of course, I keep mentioning, and I'm excited about it. I know the two of you are excited as well. I'm sure production and everyone at home is excited about it. We've got Diamond Hands going up against Chili Mountain in our final best of 5 in the Gauntlet bracket. The winner goes into the double elimination bracket in August. Loser takes 5th place, and that's the end of their season. So, will Chili Mountain be able to continue to play amazingly and shut down Diamond Hands, or will Diamond Hands come in, shut things down inside of Chili Mountain, and be able to make it into the Gauntlet? It's exciting stuff on HeroesCCL, but as I mentioned, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we'll have that best of 5 series. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom.